Tonight from Chicago, the Red Sox begin a 7-game road trip, which will take them into September. It gets underway with a 7.5-game lead over the Yankees with 28 to play in this special season. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the South Side. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner is Steve Lyons, used to play for the White Sox at one point. Also, Garen Austin in just a couple of moments. Eduardo Nunez, Psycho, he was very, very good in that series against the Marlins. He went 5 for 9 with 2 home runs. He's been cooking in late August.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier tonight, and he said it's all about the health of that knee. He feels great now. He feels great playing third base. And what an amazing at-bat he had in the second inning. He's gone deep now in consecutive ball games. This one took him 12 pitches to do it. We marveled at every pitch he fouled off, every time he spoiled a good pitch, and then he just hooked one into the left field seats. And then, of course, we talked so much about that 7th inning where the Red Sox score 11 runs. He started it off, base hit up the middle. In fact, he came up a little bit later in the game, got another base hit up the middle, and scored another run. Drove in a run in that situation. He was having a good time, and that got the madness going.
One of 5 Red Sox to have more than 1 hit in that one particular inning. Well, tonight, Rick Porcello is on the mound in the first of a 4-game series against the White Sox. He is bidding for his 16th win. We look back to last night, though, in that scary moment with David Price nailed on the wrist. He was not on a team charter from Boston to Chicago. Garen is by in a moment for an update on his status. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Amico Home Life and Auto Insurance that always puts you first. And by the all-new Subaru Ascent. Love is now bigger than ever this summer. Kind of a cool night, but a pretty night here in Chicago. Red Sox taking on the White Sox in the first game of 4. Let's get down to the field right now for an update on David Price. Here's Garen Austin.
Thanks, Obi. Well, the Red Sox really dodged a bullet, but David Price did stay in Boston to get additional imaging on his hand with a hand specialist. Now, he is traveling here to Boston, and here's an update from Alex Cora.
Yeah, actually, David stayed back to further test this morning to see the hand specialist, and everything is fine. He's on his way here. Obviously, well, for how bad he wants to face pitchers this in Atlanta, we'll see how it goes. But probably we haven't seen him yet, but we'll see how he feels the next few days, and we go from there. But I'm not 100% sure he'll make his start in Atlanta. Yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, if he feels ready to pitch, and he can convince me, we'll let him go. We trust him. The difference between yesterday and the first 2, it was like right away when I went to him down in the cage, I was like, hey man, let's go take some pictures. He went right away. Earlier in the season, he'll tell me I'm fine. I'll go out there. I'm like, okay, you go. So, but he understands. He texted me last night, in good spirits. He's on his way here, so he'll be okay.
Do you know what
And after the game, when we talked to Price last night, he said he is expecting to hit on Monday, but we'll have to wait and see if he will be on the mound then. And when we come back, Rick Porcello will be on the mound here in Chicago for the first game of this series against the White Sox. Dave O'Brien and Steve Lyons have the call. Stay with us.
You save you. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. LL Bean, if it's outside, we're all in. Be an outsider. And by your local New England Ford dealers. Very, very pleasant day here in Chicago. Red Sox on the south side tonight. Take on the White Sox in game number 1. Here's the Red Sox lineup brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Mookie Betts to lead things off. He's hitting .340. That is again tops in the majors. Andrew Benintendi in left with J.D. Martinez the DH. Xander Bogaerts at short. 86 RBIs for Xander. Eduardo Nunez, probably the hottest man in the lineup right now aside from Martinez. He's at third. Brock Holt at first. Ian Kinsler at second. Sandy Leon doing the catching, and Jackie Bradley is in center field. Look for the Red Sox to do a little running tonight. Lucas Giolito, the left-hander, is the starter, 10-9 with a .585 ERA. He's been wild all season long.
Lots of walks. Number 2 in walks in the American League with 75 of them. That's about 5 per 9. That's walking a lot of people. Has been better lately, though. Let's look at the defense for the Chicago White Sox around the infield at third base. Sanchez, then Timmy Anderson at shortstop. Moncada, we know Yohan Moncada from the Red Sox days. Davison is at first base today. Around the outfield, Nicky Delmonico. Engel, the guy who robs everybody of his home runs, out there in center field. Garcia in right field. Battery for this evening. Kevin Smith will be catching Giolito.
Umpires tonight brought to you by Toyota's website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Ted Barrett behind the plate. Will Little at first. Lance Barksdale at second. Sean Barber at third base. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit copper2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. Very comfortable night. It's going to be on the cool side after we have left the heat of Boston behind. Red Sox coming into play 92 and 42. They are back to 50 games over 500. And just starting one of the last 2 road trips of 2018 in the regular season. Atlanta also on this itinerary.
where it will again be very, very toasty down there.
I would imagine brand new ballpark there. We'll get our first look at that just north of Atlanta. And Giolito with the first pitch of the ball game. That'll be ball one, and we're underway. We say he's wild. He's racked up 75 walks, and he's also hit 13 batters. So we'll see if the Sox choose to wait him out.
Well, there you see first two pitches, one's away, one's in. They say he's pretty good if he goes north and south within the strike zone. But if he gets east to west there, side to side, is when he can't throw the ball over the plate.
Those big fellas, 6'6", 245. Got the strike there. Mookie 340, 28 home runs. Belted his first home run since the 9th of August yesterday, going 3 for 4 in what turned out to be a rout of the Marlins. 3-1.
He's lucky to have a strike. Mookie didn't really like the call on that last pitch that was called a strike. It could have been 4 straight balls.
Mookie regaining the major league lead in batting average last night with that 3-hit effort. 15th time this season he's had 3 hits or more. 3-2. Giolito out of Santa Monica, California. He's got some serious Hollywood bloodlines. A lot of actors in the family. And there's ball 4. So Mookie is on. That played right into the scouting report tonight.
That's supreme confidence right there too from Mookie Betts. When you see that many pitches, he didn't swing at one of them. Didn't like them. Now he's standing on first base.
And a good time to note as Benintendi gets in that the catcher Kevin Smith has thrown out exactly 1 base stealer all season long. 1 out of 34.
That's just flat out terrible numbers. And he's not going to be helped at all by Giolito tonight, who's very slow and lanky to the plate. Too many moving parts out there. He's not going to be quick enough.
Betts with 26 stolen bases, not running right away, and that'll be ball 1. The oddity of last night's 7th inning was that Benintendi made all 3 outs. He had a sacrifice bunt and an inning-ending double play, and around him the Red Sox pounded out 12 hits, sending 15 men to bat, and 5 different Red Sox had 2 hits.
Unbelievable.
And he heard about it as soon as the Red Sox had their hitters meeting before tonight's game. It was the first thing anybody talked about. It was the first thing you said to him today.
I gingerly approached him and I was going to kind of dig him a little bit and say, how does one guy make 3 outs in that inning? He laughed, which was fun. He said, you know what? We had scored enough. It was time to get out of there.
It was a long inning. It was the most fun inning of the season.
If you watch his approach lately, he is trying to go hard the other way. It's worked out for him. I asked him also if he was feeling good at the plate, and he said, no, I'm not feeling great. But last year I went through 2 streaks where I went 0 for 23 and then followed that up with an 0 for 22 pretty quickly afterwards. At least right now I'm getting a hit every once in a while to keep my head above water.
A ball, 2 strikes, and Benintendi hitting .291, 15 home runs.
He said, you know, in a game like that, there's always one guy in the lineup that doesn't get a hit. And he said, unfortunately, lately, that seems like it's me too often.
Don Mattingly talked about it later, too, the manager of the Marlins. You know, he said it felt like everybody got a hit. And that's because that was just about it. Never seen anything quite like that. As Betts will dive back in safely.
Got a major league record 12 hits in a row. They went 13 for 14 in the inning. Ridiculous numbers.
Yep, there was an intentional walk in there. There was a sacrifice bunt, obviously, by Benintendi as well. 1-2. He'll sock that one foul.
You see him just going inside out, inside out. He knows they're shifting on him. He said, look, I've got a third baseman over there and nobody else. He said, I've been a little bit unlucky. Watch this inside out swing. Pull the hands through and let that barrel of the bat just drag a little bit. He said, I've been unlucky because I've hit it right at that third baseman a few times too.
Oh, got it picked, a low throw, and they've got Mookie Betts in a rundown. Trying to get back. And a lunge, and he did get the out because he was outside of the base pad, according to the umpire. Here comes Alex Corin now. I don't think he ever tagged him, do you?
I think he called him out of the line.
That was it.
And I think this was probably going to be a good call because you only get to veer away from your path 3 feet. 3 feet's just not that far. And when Mookie made a big jump to get out of the way, that's more like 6, 7, 8 feet you're jumping. You don't feel like you are, but you really are. Watch how far Mookie jumps to get out of the way. That's 6 or 7 feet. You only get 3. Here's a better view of it. Big jump. I mean, one of his big strides is way longer than 3 feet.
Giolito going for the tag, nowhere near him there. But of course out of the base path. So Mookie is cut down. And a ball down into the dirt here. Martinez on deck.
I think he was telling JD right there that he's got a little bit of a sink on it, kind of a running fastball. Mookie saw a few of those, none of them in the zone.
2-2. When we talk about Giolito being all over the place, he has shown that early on here tonight. He's twice walked 7 batters in a game this season against Houston and the Cubs, 2 very good offensive ball clubs. And a long at bat here by Benintendi.
That might have been ball 4 right there. You wonder, how do you stay in a game long enough to walk 7 guys? This right at the top of the zone, if at all. Looks like it was out of the strike zone.
Giolito with a 3-2. And he struck him out looking. 96 on the radar gun, 2 down. Caught him admiring the pitch.
That's the pitch that Mookie was warning JD about. Little tail coming right back to the strike zone. He's had a tough time corralling it within that strike zone, but he got it right there.
JD batting .337. Now 3 points off the batting lead. 38 homers, 111 RBIs.
You're going to have to be doing your percentage homework for the rest of the season, huh?
You're
Between
not
those
lying.
2 guys.
Yes, going back and forth. Vying for the batting crown. JD vying for a triple crown. 8-game hitting streak. He singled, scored, and drove in a run last night. He has more hits than anybody in the majors. They'll pop that one up. Anderson, the shortstop, will put it away, and that'll do it. Red Sox in the end sent only 3 men to hit here in the first inning. Rick Porcello's first pitch on the way. Right-hander, 15-7, 4.18 the ERA. His last outing at Tampa Bay, Porcello took the loss 5-1. Red Sox starter presented by New England Audi dealers. Gave him 3 runs in 5 innings, and despite 8 strikeouts, he was not as effective as he needed to be, and he took the loss. Homer Sanchez leading it off, 245 with 7 home runs for the White Sox. White Sox are a hot club coming into this series. They have won 11 of their last 15. Gave the Yankees fits, and that's going to be in there. Strike 3. Porcello makes very quick work of Sanchez. Here's the rest of the lineup now. Delmonico next. Garcia in right. Polka is the designated hitter. He's at 19. Anderson at short. Moncada at second base. Davidson at first. Smith doing the catching, and Engel is in center field. Nicky Delmonico, 225, 7 home runs. He had a 2-run single against the Yankees on Tuesday and had a game-winning sac fly on Monday. So he was trouble in New York.
He's hitting just 225, but he has heated up, as you mentioned there. 7 for his last 16, so he's having a good week.
And Porcello with a 1-1, left it up. Yeah, Chicago went 5-2 on the road trip through Detroit and New York. Their rotation has been doing very good work lately, but they're still 58-80.
They got off to a brutal start on this season. Terrible first half. Their starting pitching has really started to solidify.
Yeah, 2.11 ERA their last 6 games, and signs that they should be hopeful about next year. Here late in the season, they're playing much better. Porcello thought maybe he had one there, and good reason.
Everybody did. Porcello take a little step off the mound a little bit, just kind of stays right there in the upper half of that zone.
Thought about it, he walked it. So Delmonico is on with 1 away.
All right, let's check in to the Red Sox defense now, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Around the infield, a little wrinkle this time. Nunez at third, Bogey at short, Kinsler at second base, and look who's playing first base. It's Brock Holt for this evening's game. Checking in the outfield, you know what those guys look like. Benintendi in left, Bradley Jr. in center, Mookie Betts with 2 Gold Gloves in right. And your battery for this evening's game is Sandy Leon catching. Rick Porcello looking for his 16th.
Avisail Garcia at 230 with 14 home runs, 34 runs batted in, but he's been in a deep slump, and he'll look at a strike. Now the White Sox and their manager Rick Renteria were talking before game 1 about what a measuring stick of a series this is for them, because they are playing much better. Now they want to measure themselves against the team with the best record in Major League Baseball. See how far they have come since the last time they met.
Yeah, they don't have much to play for this season except for personal pride and trying to get better as a team. There's a little comeback fastball right there that Rick Porcello is not real happy with the strike zone so far in this game.
So far, a couple of pitches he thought should have been strikes. Ted Barrett said no. 1 down.
Remember the first time these two teams met, the Red Sox did lose 2 of the 3 games. They just couldn't drive anybody in that series. What were they, like 1 for 23 with runners in scoring position during that series?
Yeah, there are only 2 clubs the Red Sox have faced all year they have a losing record against. One is Chicago, the other is the Oakland A's. But the Red Sox have a chance to do something about it this weekend, because this is a 4-game series. There's a shot to get away center field. Bradley racing back to the track and wall. It's gone. Garcia, who had really been in a deep slump, tags that one. And very quickly, Porcello gives up a home run to make it 2-0 Chicago.
First inning issues and home run balls are starting to creep back into Porcello's game a little bit. That can really hurt him. You could tell off the crack of the bat that this ball was gone. That sounded like a home run as soon as he hit it.
Now 6 of the last 7 games he surrendered a home run.
And multiples too.
Yeah, and you're right too, because 2 starts ago he gave up 3 home runs. Little flare to left, long run. Benintendi coming hard, won't get it. It'll drop in for a base hit for Polka. So 3 consecutive base runners have reached here against Porcello. And for a long time he did a very good job keeping the ball in the ballpark, but not lately.
It's been a glaring difference in his game over his last 10 or so starts.
His first 8 starts of the season he allowed 2 home runs. A lot of them getting over the fence lately though. Here's Anderson. He's hit 17. Got to be careful with this guy.
This guy is kind of the shining example of how a kid can really mature and become a pretty darn good baseball player. They always said Anderson was a great athlete. They drafted him because he was an athlete. Now he's a gifted shortstop.
And he can steal a base. He has lifted 25, went for the downs there and came up empty.
He always considered himself a basketball player. He was a junior college basketball player, and they drafted him anyway. They thought, we could teach this kid how to play baseball. Took him a little while, but it's finally clicked.
So the Sox fall behind on the home run by Garcia. 1 down, 1 on. And Porcello has had an up and down year, no question about that. He's had some brilliant outings, interrupted by quick exits at times. Over his last 5 starts he's tossed a pair of gems. Had that complete game 1-hitter against the Yankees, that 2-hitter at Philadelphia, but he's also had starts where he gave up 7 runs in Toronto, 5 to Cleveland, and then the last one, the loss to Tampa Bay. He has struck out 2 in the inning. Moncada now at 220 with 16 home runs and a whole lot of strikeouts. Yohan Moncada, number 1 in the American League. He's punched out 184 times.
The White Sox are still trying to figure out exactly what they have with Moncada. They know he's a tremendous athlete. The Red Sox knew he was a tremendous athlete. Still very, very young. Really his first full season in the big leagues.
So a lot of growing pains here. Runner at first base and 2 down, 2 runs in. And that's a base hit into right field. So 2 guys in deep slumps have come up with hits here in the first inning against Porcello. He'll be on at first and second for Davidson. And a rough start for Rick Porcello.
Porcello, a victim of the defensive alignment here. If obviously no one on first base, Brock Holt easily makes this play, but because he has to hold the runner, he can't get there. Now you're looking at first and second.
Davidson, another guy with some pop in the bat. He's hit 18 home runs, otherwise 226. And he's got Polka at second and Moncada at first. Well, another struggle here right away for Rick Porcello. He's lost 7 games this season, and one of his defeats came in June to the White Sox at Fenway, 5-2. Two on, 2 out, 2 runs in. And a breaking ball snaps in there. The curveball for a strike. We got a quick shot there. Chris Sale, who did play catch again today. Now several days in a row. No announcement yet on when that ramps up to the next level.
Said they wanted to play catch 5 or 6 days in a row. I think this was the 4th. And then see what they're going to do. Let him cut it loose a little bit more.
He's been in great spirits. Been bouncing around. He's had a huge smile on his face. You know, he's dying to get back on the hill.
Well, he's pretty good. That generally makes you happy.
Still the lowest ERA in the American League. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And Porcello will not fire to second base.
You know, having the lowest ERA right now, the simple fact with him not pitching, his ERA can't go up. But he would look at it completely different. He'd say, look, yeah, the simple reason I'm not pitching, I can't make it go down even farther. Nobody would catch me.
Up the middle, and it's a dive and a miss by Bogaerts. Another run is going to come on in to score. Boca touching home plate on the RBI that just gets through by Davidson, his 51st. 3-0.
This is a nice effort by Bogey up the middle. He's not trying to make the play on this ball to try to get the guy out at first. He's just trying to make sure the run doesn't score from second. If he can stop this, he'll be able to hold him up, but he couldn't quite get there. Just tipped off the end of his glove.
That's 5 base runners off Rick Porcello in the first inning. And the Red Sox in an immediate hole. Now, this has been a puzzle. One that Dana Levangie is trying to solve, as obviously Rick Porcello is, but not just talking about this inning and his recent run of starts where there have been a lot of men on base.
Too many. We remember his first inning problems that he has had in the past. That certainly reared its ugly head in this ball game. And the long ball.
In this inning, a walk, a 2-run homer, a base hit, strikeout, 2 more singles. Is Kevin Smith, the catcher, number 8 hitter. First and third. Bounding ball. Nunez has it into second for the force to retire the side, but Chicago gets 3 right away against Porcello. Concerts at Fenway. The prices and service are better than you can imagine. Visit aceticket.com today. Steve Lyons, Dave O'Brien, Garrett Austin with you here from Chicago. We're at 3-0 White Sox after 1. Xander Bogaerts to lead it off. Nunez and Holt will follow him. Here on the top of the second, Xander checking in at 284. Getting closer and closer to 90 RBIs. He's at 86 with 19 home runs.
I've only seen Giolito throw 1 inning, and I can tell you why he's kind of hard to hit, because you can't expect a strike out of him. He doesn't know where it's going, so how can you zero in?
You know, he's also capable of tossing a very good game. You and I were discussing this before the game. He has won his last 3 starts. So at times when he locks in, he stays away from the walks. He has shown he has excellent stuff. And that one in there for a strike in 93.
Talked to Steve Stone, the announcer here, and a great pitcher, Cy Young Award winning pitcher, who said he loves him. He said, look, he's 10-9 on a bad team. Think about that. His numbers are pretty darn good for a team that stunk it up for the first half.
2-2 on Xander, who scored and drove in a run each of the last 2 games against Miami. Last 17 games, he's hitting over 340. Looking to get on with the first hit of the night for the Sox. Here's the 2-2. Fouled at the plate.
Suddenly, over the last few weeks, the Red Sox have found themselves trailing in many games where they've had to come back in order to get a win.
Nunez on deck. Yeah, that's a habit they are dying to break.
Don't want to make that a trend.
2-2. And out in front, struck him out. Second K there for Giolito. Let's toss it down to Guerin.
Thanks, Obi. Well, Eduardo Nunez has been on quite a roll. He's homered in each of his last 2 games, 7-game hitting streak. But he was telling us the biggest difference, though, is that his body feels good, much better than it did at the beginning of the season. He said earlier his lower body did not feel right, and so everything was really out of sync, so he had to do his best and just kind of see what happened. But now that everything is in sync, you're starting to see the results on the field. And guys, we know that he hustles it, he said, but it wasn't always that way. He said he learned from teammates and coaches that it doesn't matter whether you go 0 for 4 or 4 for 4. You hustle, and he said now he always gives 100% when he's on the field.
And it was just a base hit, Guerin. That's all it was to get that 7th inning underway, but it was a huge hit to get that rally going. He had another one in that inning too.
Remember, he hustled down the line the night before when they forced that double play ball to get messed up a little bit. That helped them win the game.
He's hit safely in 7 in a row. 11 for 27.
I think it's a huge difference that he's over there playing third base on a consistent basis. That is his most natural position, where he feels the best playing, and he's the most suited to third base.
Giolito with a 2-0 pitch, and that'll miss for ball 3. Brock Holt, who's at first base tonight, on deck. Saw some of Brock's snapshots of the theme trip here to Chicago was back to school for the Red Sox and the staff. And Brock had it going on. He actually had the glasses with, you know, the piece of tape right in the middle to hold them together. I used to roll that out.
Well, if they get broken.
3-1 chop foul. Hey, you do what you can. Thought it was kind of a smart look.
It's not like your mom and dad were just going to run right back out and buy you a new pair of glasses.
Glasses are expensive, man. You sit on them, or, you know, a pal decides to take them off and fling them.
Or if a bully punches you in the nose.
Stuffs you in a locker. 3-2. Pop foul. Back out of play. I'm not saying any of that ever happened to me. I'm just saying, you know, if it did,
it's possible.
Got to get the tape out. Red Sox trailing 3-0. against a young man with some serious Hollywood bloodlines in Giolito. His parents, Rick and Lindsay, are actors. Rick has appeared in a bunch of stuff like Who's the Boss, Jake and the Fat Man, Twin Peaks. Lindsay has acted in Without a Trace, Boston Legal, Frasier, CSI. A lot of credits for this family.
Good credits. All shows we've seen.
That's just mom and dad. 3-2 chop the other way. Moncada will field it and get him. 2 up and 2 down.
Well, Saturday on an all-new on-course with Andy Brickley, Brick hits the greens at Willowbrun Country Club in Mashpee with local author Casey Sherman, who's known for his books turned into movies like Finest Hours and Patriots Day. Don't miss on-course with Andy Brickley, Saturday night at 5:30 on NESN.
Brock Holt 268 with 3 home runs and big triple in the 11-run 7th inning yesterday, coming off the bench. Kinsler would follow him. And the 1-0. Even Giolito's uncle, Mark Frost, is a co-creator and writer of Twin Peaks. His grandfather is an actor too. He played George Costanza's father-in-law on Seinfeld.
Now that's the one I'm not so sure we're all that happy about, because George always felt like he was going to get married. I can't remember him getting married too many times. So if you were the father-in-law, then you didn't really have that big a part, did you?
Henry Ross was the name of the part. That's all I know. A wave and a miss. 2-2 on Brock. So if this pitching thing doesn't work out, he's got a lot of Hollywood connections. 2-2 on the way. He spoiled it.
Problem is, there's not too many 6'6" actors out there.
Not a lot, maybe not a lot of demand.
They look more like Brock Holt. Remember when Brock first came up, everyone said he sort of looked like Matt Damon.
Well, they still do.
Yeah.
He still hears that all the time. He's got a lot of ham in him too. You saw the outfit he wore for back to school here to Chicago. 2-2. And got him. He struck him out. So the right-hander pretty tough in that frame. He strikes out 2, gets the Red Sox in order. Bottom two, 3-0 Chicago, flirting with a bunt, Adam Engel, but he'll take a strike. Another 4 hits in the first inning, plus a walk against Rick Porcello. 2-run homer by Garcia. That put the Red Sox behind real fast. So Engel, the number 9 hitter, and already hitting tonight. And a hot bat, 372 in his last dozen games. Swung on and missed. Down he goes, strike 3. So he fans the first man in the inning.
There's just a high fastball right there, but that really didn't look like his 4-seamer, so I'm not sure that's exactly where he wanted it.
That'll send up the top of the order in Sanchez, who struck out looking in the first inning. But then a lot of people reached after him. Sanchez gets a lot of triples. He has 9 of them, which is tied for first in the American League. He'll loop that one into left center field, down for a base hit. He is on, and with him, decent speed. So 1-out single with Nicky Delmonico coming up. He walked, and he would score when Garcia hammered the home run to center field to put them on the scoreboard.
If your name's Nicky Delmonico, you think you heard a lot of cat calls while they were just in New York playing in Yankee Stadium? Yankee fans probably didn't want to let him get out of town.
I think you hear a lot of things in New York anyway, not necessarily in the ballpark. Our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Porcello has been pretty darn good on the road, 9-3 with a 370 earned run average. But tonight, a rough start. Sanchez aboard. And popped up. That'll be foul and out of play, twisting off to the left. How'd you like playing here?
I did like playing in Chicago. I mean,
it felt like I had to drag that out of you.
Well, you know, I played most of my career there. I played in the old Comiskey Park, which wasn't that much fun to play.
Well, I didn't mean the ballpark. I mean in the city of Chicago, and then with the White Sox.
City of Chicago, there's a few cities that are nicer than coming to Chicago to play. We just weren't a very good team, you know. It's a little harder. A little harder to have a lot of fun when you're not winning.
Yeah.
I guess the best thing for me was the fact that I got a chance to play a lot more here than I did in Boston because we weren't a very good team. So I got to run out there a lot more often.
But a great town to play in.
Absolutely. I mean, Chicago's one of the best cities in the country. There's no question about that.
I guess as you ate very well here. The restaurants are off the charts.
Well, Italian food, a little bit of everything.
Great steaks, you know. Some of the best steak houses in America right here.
And lots of them.
Sure are. In every corner.
Yeah.
2-1 on Delmonico with Garcia on deck. Porcello trying to get into a rhythm, and he's going to miss to make it 3-1. Sanchez aboard at first. Fly ball into left center field toward the gap. That'll fall down, a base hit. Racing around for third, Sanchez. They'll hold him up there. Scampering into second. Delmonico has a double, and everything falling in against Porcello early on.
Yeah, they're continuing to hit the ball pretty hard and finding good gaps to put them in. That ball was perfectly placed between Benny and Jackie out there. Neither one of them can quite get to it. This results in another double and 2 more guys on base.
Well, you know, with Chris Sale out of the rotation right now, David Price getting drilled by the line drive. All the news very promising about him, but Red Sox are not sure if he's going to start on Monday or not against Atlanta. Porcello really struggling. Infield is in. Garcia has crushed a 2-run homer. He will look at strike one.
Talking about your top 3 pitchers in the rotation.
No, it is not a health question with Rick Porcello. It's something else.
Too many pitches find in the middle of the plate right now.
Again, Garcia came in really struggling with the bat. He was hitting .141 in his last 25 games before the 2-run homer.
That crack of the bat when he hit that home run too, there was no doubt it was leaving the park.
His 15th. Sanchez at third, Delmonico at second. And a 1-1. Foul tip.
Listen to this home run.
And you're right, some of them sound gone at the crack of the bat. Not all of them do.
No.
That did.
Yes, it did. It's a great feeling if you're hitting it.
He needs a strikeout. The 1-2. Already 6 hits up there for Chicago with 1 out in the second inning. Polka on deck. And here comes pitch number 41 already. Driven into left center field. Bradley over, and Jackie will run it down. The run's going to tag up Sanchez. Here's a play at third as the run comes in. Cut down there at third base.
Ill advised right there. I don't know if he did a good swim tag there or not and got around the tag. He seems to think that he's safe, that they missed the tag, but you don't run on this play right here with Jackie Bradley. He might have missed him.
They have not decided yet if they're going to challenge this, and now they do want to challenge it. So hold the phone.
If there was a mistake made there by Nunez, it's that he reached back to try to get the runner instead of just dropping his glove right at the base of the bag. He's got to come to you. You don't have to go get him.
Sanchez had already crossed the plate anyway, so that run counts. But is there also an out at third base? What do you think?
I think he's safe. The call on the field is out. You can see how the umpire might have gotten shaded there a little.
I'm with you. I think he was definitely in there.
There was a little confusion around the bag too. Nunez isn't in the greatest position to make that tag, but Bogaerts was over there too, and I'm not sure if Nunez was a little confused as to whether or not Bogaerts was going to cut that throw off or take the throw himself. Look at Bogey right there backing out of the play. Nunez is kind of off the base even though the throw is right on the bag.
I'll tell you what, the Red Sox believe that this call is going to be overturned. They're going back to their defensive positions as they watch it in New York. And here comes the call.
They're being thorough about it.
Yes, and safe. So Red Sox on top. White Sox on top 4-0 over the Red Sox, and the inning not over. Here comes Cora. And Polka will be the batter. It's a poor start tonight for Rick Porcello. That shot was hit hard by Garcia.
So far, a lot of hard hit balls, and I think this is a good move by Alex Cora coming out himself right here. I mean, basically, I think he's looking at at Rick Porcello and saying, look, you still got a guy on third base. Leave him there. Give this offense a chance to get you back into the game. It's certainly not over with yet.
Palka 1 for 1 with a base hit, and he scored a run in the first inning. Two down, a runner at third, and right through there for a strike.
Talk about a great pickup for the White Sox. This kid's a rookie, but he's bounced around in his minor league career. He's picked up on waivers from the Twins. They've given him a chance here, and he's at 19 home runs.
And when he hits it as hard as anybody in the American League.
Yes, his exit velo on most of his hits are well over 100 miles an hour.
111 on his 7 home runs. I mean, that's up there with Aaron Judge. Almost. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Did he hold up? The appeal, no swing, says Sean Barber. So 4-0 Chicago. Porcello trying to figure it out.
Just amazes me sometimes when you see a guy like that comes in 19 homers, more than 50 RBIs. The Twins said, we don't even want you anymore. Go away.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This started right off the get-go with Porcello not happy about a few of the calls that were made behind home plate. Might have had a beef on a couple of those as well.
Ball 3 and a pitch in the dirt. Well, no activity at the moment in the Red Sox bullpen, but if you watch this guy, you got to wonder.
It won't take long.
Tim Anderson on deck. Man at third with 2 down, and a payoff pitch. And a rocket, but fouled out of play. And he broke the bat, so he's off to get a new one.
Palka just kind of dives out over there and tries to hook this ball into right field, and he hooks it so far it goes foul.
Tigers and the Yankees are in the 5th inning right now, Steve. It is 5-4 Detroit. They've been going back and forth in that one.
Nice sinking fastball away right here might be a nice pitch. Look at how far away Palka stands from the plate. And you look at the strike zone here. They're just going in on him. Something away might serve you well. Obviously, they've looked at the scouting report and they say, hey, the way to get him out is to go in hard, and that's what they've been trying to do.
And down he goes, 94 miles an hour. But they add another now, 4-0 Chicago.
Red Sox season ticket plans for the 2019 season are on sale right now. New plans will include access to potential 2018 postseason games. For more information, go to redsox.com/season tickets.
Well, Red Sox down early, but down 4-0, trying to climb back in this. Giolito back at it against Ian Kinsler, who has been swinging a pretty good bat lately. 244 overall with 13 home runs. But he was 4 for 8 in the Miami series.
This is a team that's pretty good at climbing back into games that they've had a tough time on early on.
High bounder. Sanchez gloves it. And on target, he's got a good arm. One gone. Time for our twisted but true fact. Last night against the Marlins, Red Sox scored 11 times on 12 hits in the 7th. The last time the Sox collected 12 or more hits in an inning, June 27 of 03, also against the Marlins. 2003, the Marlins would go on to win the World Series. Twisted tea is hard iced tea. Unwind with a twist. The expectations are not as high that this edition of the Marlins will go on to win the World Series.
I want to say like the next night or 2 nights after that big output, Mike Lowell hit a big game winner.
I think it was the next night.
Walk-off, or not, couldn't have been a walk-off because they were on the road.
Yeah, big home run.
And then it didn't seem like they never lost another game after that. Went on to win everything.
Sandy Leon hitting 198, trying to fight his way out of a skid.
Giolito in last inning figured out how to use his changeup here. He doesn't throw it very much. He's got a good curveball. Doesn't use that very much. There's a lot of fastballs, but mixed in that changeup for a couple strikeouts last inning.
Slicer foul. Yep, four-seamer, sinker, slider, curveball, changeup in the arsenal. And throwing more strikes here early in the game than he has in a lot of other starts, although lately pitching quite well. 1-2 on the way. Ran it in 93. Jackie Bradley waiting on deck, and a 1-2. Popped up down the line.
Trouble.
And that is going to drop into foul territory.
Saturday on an all-new dining playbook. Billy and Jenny check out Osteria Nino in Burlington, Mass. Plus, Paul Wahlberg is cooking for Billy and new kid on the block, Joey McIntyre. And they're going to do that on Billy's boat. There they are right there. Catch it all on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on Dining Playbook, driven by your New England Chevy dealers.
Oh, that's the way we all want to roll right there.
Cooking on a boat?
On the boat.
Barbecuing?
Pizza on the boat.
With Joey McIntyre.
1-2 to Sandy Leon.
Sandy hanging in there, fighting off some tough pitches here. We watched Eddie Nunez do that in last night's game. Fought off 11 of them before he hit the 12th one into the seats.
One, 2. Tried to hold up on a pitch in the dirt, but he swung and missed for strike 3. That'll be the 4th K for Giolito. And Sandy Leon still trying to get going.
Got that big breaking ball just down in the dirt. Not a good pitch to hit, but Sandy couldn't adjust to it.
Brings up Jackie Bradley, 230 with 11 home runs. 2 for 4 with a double, 2 RBIs last night. Tied up the ball game with that RBI double in the 7th inning, and later in the inning he would single and drive in another one.
They give Jackie a ton of room in left center field, and he's been hitting the ball in that region quite a lot lately.
Well, the Red Sox would love to get on base and do some running tonight. Jackie with 13 stolen bases, Mookie Betts 26, Benintendi with 20, but so far they have only 1 base runner against this right-hander. Jackie behind 1 and 2. Giolito trying to make it another 1-2-3 inning. And he bounces it up there. Red Sox and White Sox again tomorrow evening at 8:10. Nathan Eovaldi against Michael Kopech. Eduardo Rodriguez makes his return to the rotation on Saturday 1 hour earlier. And a cut and a miss, strike 3. Giolito continues to be impressive. Bottom of the third inning. Rick Porcello looking for some answers here. He could really benefit from a very quick inning. He's down 4-0 as Tim Anderson will lead things off, and a base hit into right field on the first pitch that he gets. So the leadoff man on this outsider timeout presented by LL Bean. From the ballpark to your local park, the outside always better together. LL Bean, be an outsider. More pizza. Great pizza town too. You failed to mention that when you were talking about all the good things to eat here.
I'm just beginning the list of all the good things to eat here.
Moncada with a base hit first inning is 1 for 1. 7 hits already for Chicago.
Anderson's not afraid to steal a base. Far and away leads the team in stolen bases with 25 on the season.
Moncada, the former Red Sox farmhand, briefly a big leaguer with the Sox. Learning on the job, I guess you could say, hitting 172 in the second half of the season. We talked about all the strikeouts, but there's some power here too, with 16 home runs. You will look at a ball down low. And the count goes to 3-0. Porcello has walked a man. That was Delmonico in the first inning. He would score. And Davidson on deck. And the 3-0.
Moncada had a strange major league run with the Boston Red Sox. Very hyped up minor league player, came to the big leagues at the end of the year. was pretty much anointed the third baseman headed into the playoffs and then proceeded to strike out like 9 times in a row. Never really played much after that.
Yeah, breaking balls just ate him alive during that stretch.
Out in Oakland is where I remember it the most, or just breaking ball after breaking ball. He couldn't figure out how to hit it. He was a very young player. Everybody knew how talented he was. Guys like that usually figure it out.
Anderson on at first, nobody out. 4-0 Chicago, third inning. Runner goes. So Anderson was on the move. He will retreat to first base. He can really fly.
To finish that thought on Moncada, he did strike out 12 times in the 19 at-bats that they gave him.
And you know, the strikeouts have continued to pile up. He's still trying to solve the riddle of the breaking pitch. Porcello with a 3-2 here. Runner taken off again, and it'll be ball 4. So he's in some trouble again. First and second, nobody out. Let's toss it down to Guerin.
Oh, B. Steve, this is really cool to hear about. The White Sox and White Sox Charities announced a special online charity auction in honor of Jerry Remy. The auction items include autographed items from memorabilia from notable Red Sox and White Sox players. Guys and fans can bid at whitesox.com/auction until September 2nd at 7 p.m. and the proceeds will go to the Jimmy Fund in honor of our friend Jerry Remy. And guys, I was texting with him earlier today, and he said he really does appreciate all the prayers and messages.
Boy, there have been so many of those too. And Guerin, I know this is true of you everywhere you go. This is true of Steve and I as well. The well-wishing for Jerry Remy is just off the charts. Everybody wants to know how the Rem Dog is doing, how he's feeling.
Absolutely. I actually ran into Jackie Bradley Jr.'s mom the other day in the elevator, and the first thing she said to me was, please tell Mr. Remy that we're thinking about him. We hear it from everybody, so I wanted to pass that along to Jerry Remy today, guys.
I was there when Jackie's mom came up to us in Baltimore. We left Camden Yards one night, and she wanted to introduce herself to Jerry and to myself. Lovely lady.
Not a person that you bump into doesn't ask.
And he's going to be in there for strike 3 to sit down Davidson. So Porcello gets a much needed K in the book, and out number 1. So 93 miles an hour to catch him looking. That'll send up Kevin Smith, who is 0 for 1. Runners on at first and second. Porcello, when he has that sinker really moving, will get the double play ball and may get one right here. Bogart's out at second and out at first as the Red Sox turn 2. Needed that desperately.
Friday, September 14th is the Mookie Betts Splash Bobblehead Night at Fenway Park. The first 10,000 fans in attendance will receive the best bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola. For more info, visit redsox.com/promos.
Well, Mookie took a walk to begin the ball game. Then he was picked off by the pitcher. Got a rundown. Giolito eventually lunging for him, and Mookie was ruled out of the base path. Started the night at 340, number 1 in the big leagues again. And he will look at a strike.
This continues to be a game where you just don't think that the Red Sox are out of it yet. 4-0. You got to get something going against this guy, though.
Benintendi on deck, and then JD Martinez, so top of the order here. Mookie has reached base 4 times in 2 consecutive games. Getting on a ton. Giolito with a 1-2. And a little ground ball to first baseman. Davidson will take that himself, and a fast out. Time now for our Rams social drive. We get it back to the studio. Here's Casey.
Thank you. The Twins and the Indians in action earlier today. Prior to first pitch, Cleveland third baseman Jose Ramirez, he had 37 homers, 28 steals, 94 RBI. So how did Minnesota attempt to stop him? They took a page out of slow pitch softball league and used 4 outfielders. Ramirez, he went hitless with 2 walks, but the rest of the lineup able to hit Cleveland to a 5-3 victory. That's your Rams social drive.
All right, thank you. Benintendi struck out first time up. He'll pop up this one down the left field line on the move. Delmonico into foul ground. 2 up and 2 down.
Red Sox continue to be very aggressive against a guy who doesn't throw that many strikes.
Red Sox without a hit to this point. Only 1 base runner. That was the walk to start the ball game. Giolito with a ton of walks coming in, but he's only walked 1 man. He's been throwing a lot of first pitch strikes too. JD 0 for 1. He's popped to short. Eight-game hitting streak for Martinez. He has 8 more RBIs than any other major league hitter, sitting there at 111. And a called strike. Next run he scores will be the 100th of his season. What a season it's been. The 1-1.
Part of the deception, I think, with Giolito is that size at 6'6", kind of reaches way behind him before he throws the ball.
Nobody on base, 2 down. Red Sox seeing him for the first time in tonight's start. I mean, his numbers are all over the place coming in, but he has not, other than the leadoff walk, pitched to that scouting report. There comes the 2-2. And past him at 94 miles an hour. Makes fast work of the Red Sox in the 4th inning. Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-0 Chicago in game one of what will be a 4-game series, and then the Red Sox head on to Atlanta. It will not be the end of the interleague dates for the Red Sox. They still have a series against the Mets at Fenway in September. Adam Engel leading it off, struck out first time up. This guy robbed 3 home runs with over-the-wall leaping catches in the span of a week early on in August. So he was on all the highlights. Home run saving catches on August 6th, 7th, and 12th.
Well, he hit 237, so you're not going to see him on the highlights for hitting home runs. You see him on the highlight shows for robbing them.
Lately, he's been cooking with the bat, too. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Rick Porcello. Into the dirt. Comforts of home brought to you by Bernie and Phil's. Engel his last 7 home games hitting .435. Couple of home runs. Right now, during Bernie and Phil's Labor Day event, you choose your savings from one of 3 great offers. And the 2-2. Smack to the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Plenty of time to get it there for the first out. So the man gone back up to the top of the order, and Yolmer Sanchez. Last time up for him, a base hit, and they brought him in to make it 4-0. They got 3 runs in the first inning off Rick Porcello on a walk, a 2-run homer, and 3 singles. And again, even though the White Sox have had a bad year, they're at 80 losses and counting right now. Lately, a much better team. 11 out of 15 for them. They've won.
Much better second half. They seem like they're putting things together. They talk a lot about the starting staff and how that's improved.
Zipped in there for a strike. Nathan Eovaldi trying to solve his recent difficulties. He's 5-6 at the moment. He'll be pitching tomorrow night at 8:10. A slicer. Benintendi on the move. He'll have to cut it on one big hop. Sanchez going back to first base, content with his second single. He's 2 for 3 tonight. So Porcello hasn't had anything close to a clean inning yet.
Benny thought about trying to come in and catch this ball, then altered his route and backed off of it because he didn't think he could get there. Last thing he wants is that ball squirting by him and down the line for a potential triple. Backs off, gets the ball back into second base, and Sanchez has to scamper back.
That's 8 hits now for Chicago. No activity yet in the Sox pen. Delmonico with a high fly left center, but it won't carry deep enough. Bradley is now coming in. Runner holding at first, and there are 2 down.
Tomorrow at 7, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Wake will break down Rick Porcello's start.
They'll get Garcia again. He's got a 2-run homer and a sac fly to drive in a run. That was a bullet as well. Out to left center field, chased down by Jackie Bradley, but hit right on the screws. When he was in Detroit with Miguel Cabrera, they used to refer to this guy as Baby Cabrera. Not quite as large.
Neither were the numbers.
That's the reason he's in Chicago. But obviously he can hit it a long way, which he did in the first with the 2-run homer. Two down. Went for the downs there. Tigers and Yankees are tied up 5-5 in their game. The closest race in baseball right now is the NL West. Arizona has a half-game lead on Colorado and a 1-game lead on the Dodgers.
Those 3 will go right down to the wire. It should be fun to watch.
Daniel Polka on deck. 4-0 White Sox, 4th inning. And the 2-1 from Porcello will miss outside. And Lowe with the changeup.
Rick tonight has just had really big troubles with location and command. Hasn't had great command of any of his pitches.
Falling behind 3-1. The guy's been dangerous for him tonight. He went for it. Now 3-2.
This is a pretty good pitch right here. A slider. Just can't reach it. Garcia was trying to go hard the other way.
Tough thing to figure out with Porcello is he's had some great outings around some very poor outings. Want to take it off, and that'll be in there for strike 3. He came back to fan him this time. 1 man left. On to the top half of the 5th inning as you see the Red Sox without a hit and only 1 base runner. As Xander Bogaerts will lead it off. He whiffed in the 2nd inning. Giolito has been on target, and he's been doing a lot of that, a lot of first pitch strikes.
Makes a big difference because that was his problem. If he got behind in counts, he would generally walk the guy. Wasn't able to fight his way back into a favorable count.
So the Red Sox are 0 for 11 through 4 innings. Last night in the 7th inning, they went 12 for 13.
You're hoping for some of that again?
Granted, that was astounding. The 1-1.
Best offensive inning of any team this year.
Bogaerts, Nunez, and Holt. Now they're getting their 2nd look at the righty. Xander trying to connect. Changeup's been pretty deadly. Here comes the 1-2. And a ground ball foul.
I think his changeup has been his best pitch, and he's used it sparingly, kind of breaking it out when he needs it. Keeping the Red Sox hitters out on their front foot. We've seen Bogey out on his front foot this entire at bat.
Will he be the first man to get a hit against the righty? Well, Xander in his career is a .333 hitter in this ballpark. He hangs in 1-2. Nunez on deck. Well, it felt like for the longest time last night until that 7th inning, Red Sox were being almost completely shut down offensively. They had but a handful of hits before the merry-go-round. Here's the 1-2. Got a piece to stay alive again. $19 home runs for Xander Bogaerts.
Fastball up and away, and then back to the changeup is what he did.
1-2 from Giolito. And a roller to third base. A fair ball picked by Sanchez, and he fired that one. He threw that one away, and the Red Sox have a base runner. Tom Goodwin, the first base coach, went diving for cover.
He had more time to make this throw, but he really just airs it out. He didn't really look like he had a great grip on it and just didn't come anywhere close to first base.
So an E5, that's a big league error. Tom went running for his life.
Wherever he went, the ball just kept coming towards him.
Yeah. I like seeing these guys with helmets these last several years. Big cut and a miss by Nunez. So Red Sox have just their second base runner. We're in the 5th inning. Nunez grounded to second, first trip. Nunez with a 7-game hitting streak. Terrific at bat yesterday with that home run on the 12th pitch of the at bat. It reminded you of Mookie's 13th pitch at bat.
And Alex Cora's 18th pitch at bat.
And whenever you get into that league, you know, 10, 11, 12.
That's like 3 at bats.
Yeah, 18's ridiculous. And then to hit a home run on that, which is what Cora did at Dodger Stadium. Roller toward third again. They're picking on Sanchez. He'll throw this one on target. Down to second. Xander Bogaerts with one away. Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment honoring the 13 champions. Game number 135. Red Sox would lose to Baltimore 3-2. Chris Tillman besting John Lester in a pitcher's duel. Manny Machado led the Birds' attack as he drove in 2. Now here's Brock Holt, struck out first time up. Opportunity to put the Red Sox on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Trailing 4-0. It is refreshingly cool here in Chicago.
That's compared to what we noticed there in Boston over the last few days.
And it was rather impressive. 68 degrees right now. Fall-like in a windy city. And 0-2.
Supposed to heat back up into the 80s for the next few days when we're here. I don't know if it's that cold.
Two strikes on Brock Holt with Xander Bogaerts, the base runner, at second. Way too high. As somebody who works for the White Sox here at the ballpark tonight around batting practice time, how many do you expect? And he said it depends how many the Red Sox bring. As far as attendance.
Red Sox travel well.
And a cut and a miss. Well, a couple of filthy pitches, 92 miles an hour to strike out Brock Holt. And now they're 2 down.
Watch the late movement. This is what we've seen out of him all night long. That ball just running to the outer half of the plate, even though they set up on the inner half.
Stay tuned after the third out for the mid-fifth studio show with Adam and Casey. So it is up to Ian Kinsler to bring in this run. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Red Sox still without a hit. Two down. And strike one again. Kinsler over his last 27 games is hitting .350. He came back from the hamstring injury, spent some time on the DL because of that. The bat was a little bit slow, but he's heating up again. This is a guy who can make a big difference the last month of baseball for the Red Sox, don't you think?
Absolutely. He's going to get his opportunities to play. There's no question. He's going to be running out there. Back half of that order. He needs to be productive.
0-2. Knocked down by Smith, the catcher, holding at second Xander Bogaerts.
It's pretty clear to me in this game, Giolito has pretty much decided that he does not want to be number 2 in the American League and walks anymore. Walking an average of 5 per 9 innings pitched. Not tonight, and really not over his last 4 starts.
Well, he's hit a lot of batters. He's thrown a lot of wild pitches, tons of walks, but it's like somebody else is in that uniform tonight. And a 1-2 on the way. Hard hit but foul. Although, as you had mentioned, he's been much better lately. His last start, he went 7 at Detroit. He allowed just 3 hits. He's in front on Kinsler, 1-2. He spoiled it. The Red Sox on the road for 7 games. Then they're going to be home for 9. Then to New York and Cleveland. And then back to Fenway for the last 6 of the regular season. 1-2. Stopped again by Smith. Runners staying put.
Tough situation in this inning. Bogaerts was on second base with 1 out, then another out. They have to find a way to get that run home if they get those opportunities this late in the game now. 4-0 lead. You got to cut into that, even if it is just 1 an inning for a little bit.
Only the top of the 5th inning. And Giolito with a 2-2 to Kinsler. He is hacking away on the curveball. That time got a piece of it.
This has been a good pitch. The curveball and the changeup for him. The Red Sox have not been able to get too much going against either of those pitches. Kinsler fouls it off to stay alive.
And that got a lot of the plate.
Now he'll probably see the changeup.
And a 2-2. There's a base hit, rocketed into left field. Xander Bogaerts will stop at third, and the Red Sox have their first hit tonight. First and third, the base hit by Ian Kinsler. Red Sox fans applauding that first knock.
Didn't go with the changeup, went with a fastball, and Kinsler was all over it, right down the middle. As you mentioned, the curveball hung out over the middle of the plate. That fastball down the middle, maybe the Red Sox can get him to start losing a little bit of location. Bogey hustling, thinking about scoring, but Delmonico was all over that pitch and got that ball back into the infield very quickly.
Plus, it was hit like a rocket. Sandy Leon now struck out first time up. Sox trying to break through, and Sandy trying to bust out of a long skid. Started him off with a changeup and a swing and a miss. So that is now 10 first pitch strikes out of the first 17 to face him. Although he helped him with that one. ball, 1 strike on deck. Jackie Bradley. Red Sox have a couple of base runners on an error and the first hit tonight. Giolito with a 1-1 offering. He's only walked the 1 man so far with 7 Ks. And that one got him. Sandy Leon looking at the hand here, and he will take his base, and this is going to load him up as Sandy gets hit by the pitch to fill him up.
You could tell that this ball ricocheted off of Sandy's hand there, or wrist, the back of his wrist. Not sure what the umpire was looking for. Sometimes that ball will hit the knob of the bat. It'll end up being a foul ball, but the umpire ruled that hit Sandy and not the bat. But what do you think he was looking for when he came out and looked at Sandy and then said, yeah, that hit you in the hand. You can go take first base.
I'm not sure, but I know he put him on. And Don Cooper is out to talk with the 24-year-old right-hander, who's in his first difficulty tonight. Started out with an error, then he got 2 men as he got Nunez to ground out and he struck out Brock Holt, but then Kinsler with the first single, and now Sandy Leon hit on the hand, and they are suddenly all loaded up for Jackie Bradley, who struck out in his only trip to the plate tonight.
You talked about earlier his propensity to hit batters as well as walk them.
Yeah, it's the 14th he's hit this year. So they're all loaded with 2 away. Boy, a lot of strike 1. The 11th time already. Mookie Betts on deck. A man at every base, and the 0-1 to Jackie Bradley. And he'll look at a ball, but not sure that missed. That's a pretty good pitch.
Changeup right at the bottom part of the zone, exactly where you're trying to throw it. It's a tough pitch to hit, and that's why Jackie stayed off of it. I wouldn't like it if it got called strike, I don't think.
And 1-1. Roped and knocked down by Davidson. He will take it himself. That was hard hit. Jackie Bradley a little unlucky. Side retired. Red Sox load him up but cannot drive in a run. Time now to turn it over to Adam and Casey for the Midfist Studio Show. but failed to get in a run, so still 4-0 Chicago. Rick Porcello, last couple of innings, certainly an improvement. He has not allowed a run in either one of those, just a couple of hits. And trying to keep it right where it is and see if the offense can really wake up the way it did last night in the 7th inning. Well, you don't need that many. You don't always need 11, but a couple to start. Daniel Polka has singled and struck out tonight and will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Red Sox put a big time shift on against him.
For Porcello, it's been a struggle, but over the last couple of innings, he's been able to get out of there without any runs. He's had base runners.
Starts it with a change. And every time this kid swings the bat, he means to hit it through the seats in right field.
You better be careful on those foul balls, because one of those foul balls will go right through you.
And that's why some of us really know how to duck. And he will take that one just a little bit high and off the corner. Polka's hit 5 9th inning home runs this year, tied for the major league lead. He goes down swinging the bat. Strikeout victim, 1 away.
That's a good changeup. We've seen that a lot out of Giolito. Now the changeup late in counts to the White Sox hitters, very effective, especially against the lefties.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. Here's Tim Anderson. He has struck out and singled. Porcello does have 7 Ks tonight.
He always seems to get those strikeouts whether he has a good outing or a bad one.
Anderson a threat to run if he gets on. Deep short. Bogaerts has to hustle to throw. Going to be close and safe. Well, that was kind of interesting because Anderson went by the bag and ruled himself safe, and that's when Will Little copied him, first base umpire.
Umpire agreed with him as Anderson says, yeah, I'm already safe.
Now Red Sox going to challenge this.
Yeah, because I don't know if he is safe. He looks out to me right there. That's behind the glove.
He looks out to me.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Xander Bogaerts made an amazing play right there. He had a short hop, a backhand, and then get the ball out of his glove and release it quickly. Nunez going that way, Boga going the other way, and it wasn't like a nice easy hop for him. Pretty good stretch from a shorter first baseman, Brock Holt.
Who held the bag? No question about that. First base umpire Will Little, we think, is going to be overturned here. Yeah, heck of a play by Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, it's one thing to go to your backhand side and get a nice hop where you can get your rhythm, get the ball out of your glove and make a nice throw, but he had none of that. He had a short hop that he had to pick. He had to kind of square himself back up to the play and let one go where he really couldn't get a lot on the throw. So it sort of floated over there, but you can't blame him for that. That's all he could do.
Got him. So they overturn it. Anderson cut down on the effort of Xander Bogaerts. 2 up and 2 down. And Moncada will step in. So Anderson missed it. Will Little missed it.
The big eye of the replay did not miss it.
Moncada's had a good night, a single and a walk. Yankees and Tigers still 5-5 in the 7th inning. Porcello has looked more comfortable here as we moved into the middle innings. Here's his pitching line, brought to you by Ace Ticket, and he's been more effective too.
Lots of pitches through 4 2/3. Not what Porcello wants to do, but trying to fight his way back into this game.
He's been pulling the string on that changeup better and better. 2-1 on Moncada. There's no question he's going to strike out over 200 times. Fouls that one back right underneath us. Moncada, big strong kid.
See if Porcello goes back to the changeup or wants to climb the ladder on him a little bit.
High fly drifting into left field. Benintendi moving a bit to his right to put that away. Best inning for Rick Porcello tonight. He gets him 1, 2, 3.
Fantasy football draft season is here. Get the edge on the competition by heading to NESN.com/fantasy for a full fantasy football draft kit.
Mookie Betts leading off the 6th inning. He's taking a walk and he's grounded out. After scoring 3 times last night, number 2 in the majors, having scored 108 runs. Started the night 340, tops in the American League. You remember when he started spring training games going 0 for 16?
I do.
You and I had those games, and down in Fort Myers he was in the process of changing some of his hitting philosophy quite a bit. I remember he had hit 318, 31 homers, 113 RBIs a couple of years ago, but looking to do a few things differently. He's always been a feel hitter. He wasn't feeling very good early on in Fort Myers. He actually thought that with those struggles it might be the end for him. It was going so badly, and you know, for him that's a big window.
Sure.
For everybody else it's not, but for Mookie 0 for 16 is a huge window.
Only because he's so good otherwise.
Pop that one up, back out of play. Count 3-2.
You know, I'm glad he stuck with the process, because he was going through a process of changing the way he swung the bat. He was tired of hitting hard ground balls. He saw like 150 more sliders last year than he did the year before. They were pitching him differently and he wasn't adjusting well enough. Wanted to get the ball in the air.
And a big part of it was attacking pitches that you can do damage with, which is something that JD Martinez has certainly brought to the Red Sox. Other guys have taken that up as well. A lot of that was Alex Cora, and then Tim Hires bringing that philosophy to the Red Sox. Man, has it paid off for Mookie
and others.
And a spectacular season. Here comes the 3-2. He's going to punch that one into left center field, and it's down for a base hit. So the Red Sox have their second hit tonight, second in as many innings, in fact, and he's aboard against a catcher who does not throw well.
That's about as fooled as you'll see Mookie get out on that front foot a little bit, but he keeps his hands back so nice. Kind of hooked that ball into the left center field gap. It drops in there for the single. He's gonna get the solid part of the bat on the ball.
26 stolen bases and picked off the first time when he walked in the first inning. See what he's up to here with Benintendi the batter. Andrew is 0 for 2. He has struck out, flied out. 4 runs on 8 hits and an error for the White Sox. No runs, 2 hits now, and no errors for the Red Sox.
See how frisky that Mookie Betts feels over there when you talk about a guy in Smith behind the plate who's only thrown out one of what, 32, 34, one of 34 base stealers. That's unbelievably bad, but you're getting beat 4-0 here too. Can't afford to get picked off or thrown out.
Not running. 1-1. Trying to get a couple of base runners for J.D. Martinez. And a 1-1 pitch from Giolito. Off the end of the bat, foul. Benintendi, a bit of a skid lately, but still ranking among the top 10 in the American League in runs, 91 runs. He's 7th with 36 doubles, and he's 10th in walks. And he has 20 stolen bases. Righty with a 1-2. And down he goes. Caught looking. He didn't like the call. Chatting it up with Ted Barrett, but a strikeout victim, Benintendi, and one away.
You know, when you're starting to struggle a little bit, anything close ends up being called a strike. That's a little Yahoo fastball. We've seen this out of Giolito all night. He'll run that right back and catch just the inside corner of the plate. A little framing there by Smith. Benny thought that was inside.
Here's J.D. Martinez. He has popped up and struck out in this one. He'll flare that one toward right. Right field was very, very deep. Garcia charging on will make the play. Betts retreating to first base, and there are 2 gone. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Tom Caron. All right, Tom, thank you. Keep us posted on that. Xander Bogaerts has reached on an error and struck out tonight. Red Sox have been shut out to this point. They trail 4-0. Betts has not attempted to run yet, has a pretty good lead here. And it'll be in for a strike on Xander Bogaerts. Xander just 3 RBIs short of his career high of 89, which was 2 years ago. And not done with August just yet. Here comes the 0-1. And a ground ball to that right side, and that will do it. The Red Sox get a base runner. Nothing comes of it. Heating, AC, and electric with TC and Wake. And in the pregame, they talked about JD Martinez hot entering the game. Matt Davidson cold. Here's how they're doing so far tonight.
Switch that thing around a little bit tonight, I guess.
Now Davidson will lead off. The RBI single came in the first inning off Rick Porcello. Gave up 3 runs in the first. Another in the second inning. Nothing since then. He's coming off a 1-2-3 fifth. Bottom of the 6th here in Chicago at Guaranteed Rate Field. And a 4-0 Chicago advantage.
Davidson's been one of the guys in this lineup over the past couple seasons that's provided a lot of power for the White Sox, but he's only hit 4 home runs in his last 35 games.
Now, for the first time tonight, the Red Sox have activity in the bullpen. Brandon Workman getting going. It was a rocky start for Rick Porcello. Will it cost him tonight? The Red Sox have not been able to do anything offensively. They have left their hits in the 7th inning last night.
There was a lot of them.
There sure were. That was impressive. That looked like a track meet. And there's one thing that Alex Cora talked about too, that and he notices a lot of stuff. He's got a great eye for the game, and he said, you know, the hits were tremendous, but there was a lot of really good base running. Red Sox going first to third, first to third, first to third over and over again because they didn't hit a home run in the end. Despite all that offense, everything stayed in the ballpark. Pop foul back out of play by Davidson.
I think the overall base running in the second half of this season has been way better than it was early on. This was a team that was leading all of baseball in running into outs on the bases, and they haven't done much of that lately.
Big problem last year. Problem earlier this season. He addressed it, talked about it quite often, and it has improved.
Cleaning it up.
Two and two. Red Sox got into town about 2 o'clock this morning. So that's not an outrageous time. They've gotten into town much later many other times. Three balls, 2 strikes.
See if he tries to put him away with a strikeout or pitch to contact in this situation at 3-2.
And he will walk him instead. So he's walked 3 men. This will lead off the 6th inning in front of Smith.
Well, on an all-new NESN clubhouse, we are celebrating women in baseball. See how a local phenom is striking up national buzz. Plus, Red Sox players reveal the strong women in their own lives. Catch it all on an all-new NESN clubhouse Sunday afternoon at 12:30 on NESN.
Well, here comes the Red Sox manager. And so for the 2nd consecutive outing, Rick Porcello, I'm sure he's going to be disappointed in this. Goes only 5 innings. Plus a batter in the 6th inning. The walk to Davidson. Pitched better the last few innings after a rough start, but down 4-0.
Always prides himself on trying to go 7 innings in a ball game. He didn't get close to that this time. Just early problems, especially in that first inning.
Brandon Workman coming on. We'll take the break and return to Chicago with more in just a moment. Take on your day the sweet way with Dunkin's new brown sugar cold brew. All the boldness you expect from cold brew coffee, sweetly balanced with brown sugar. Price and participation may vary. It's a limited time offer. Rick Porcello giving away now to Brandon Workman after the walk of Davidson. Brings up Kevin Smith. He has hit into a double play tonight. Red Sox trail 4-0. Rick Porcello's line. And runner at first base is his responsibility.
I think Rick has been a classic example lately of how tough pitching is. His up and down starts. We'll have a great one and then one not so good. Same guy going out there. Starts out there where you just can't figure out why his location is off. His pitches aren't doing what they want him to, what he wants them to do.
What was unusual about tonight is that the rally in the first inning began with a walk, and he wound up walking 3 men. It's a high number for him with his command. Garcia with a 2-run homer. They added another run on 3 singles in the first inning, and the Red Sox were down fast. Now on the offensive side, they've managed only 2 hits.
Yeah. You know, Porcello will probably say first and foremost, didn't have great fastball command, and that's something that he really relies on so that the rest of his pitches are more successful and do more damage.
Here's the 0-2 from Workman. And a dive back here by Davidson. Workman Tuesday in the win over Miami went an inning and 2/3 of scoreless baseball. He did walk a man. He's been pretty strong lately. In fact, a 1.74 ERA his last 9 appearances. So he's been a consistent guy here in recent weeks out of the pen.
And when you throw the ball well out of the pen, then Alex Cora starts putting you in higher leverage situations, and there's been a little bit of a merry-go-round. A lot of places being shifted back and forth with guys that have been successful in the back end and guys that have started to struggle a little bit.
Bounder here to Nunez. He'll sling it into second, one on to first, and a double play. Red Sox will turn 2. Smith for the second time double up.
Don't miss WB Mason extra innings live right after the game. TC and Wake will break it all down for you. They'll bring you the keys to the game, and you're also going to hear from Rick Porcello and Alex Cora. Who but WB Mason, celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
2 gone, bases empty for the number 9 hitter Engel, who has struck out and grounded out. And come the 7th inning, the Sox will have due up Nunez, Holt, and Kinsler. Against Lucas Giolito, who's been a puzzle. Tossing a 2-hit shutout at the moment. 0-2.
Giolito up over 100 pitches as well, so who knows how much longer he'll go.
You want to get into the White Sox bullpen.
Yes, you do. Certainly not been one of the strengths this year for this team.
Well, they've had a lot of different guys try and close. In fact, the franchise record, 9 different pitchers have recorded at least 1 save for them. Soria leading the way with 16, but a lot of guys have done it.
Well, when I played back here a long time ago, it was one guy that did it, Bobby Thigpen.
And down he goes, hacking. Struck him out. So good work by Workman again.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for just $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Underway in the 7th, 4-0 Chicago. Just 2 hits for the Sox tonight. Ian Kinsler and Mookie Betts. A pair of singles, that's it so far. Nunez gets his 3rd look at the right-hander.
Another impressive thing about Porcello after having a bad outing and then having Workman come in and get out of it. Davison was his responsibility. Porcello hung around, gave Workman a fist pump before he went into the clubhouse.
And you can't be thrilled to do that, but he does that routinely, fouled away down the line. And tonight he got behind early. Red Sox haven't scored any runs, but he gave up 3 runs in the 1st inning. And
Porcello wants to be sitting back in his hotel room trying to figure out what went wrong right now. He will hang around. We talked about this the last time. The last game we had at Porcello was a little bit of a rough start. And you learn more about him when he has a bad start, certainly, than when he has a good one. I'd rather see him win, but
so would he. And popped up, foul off third. Sanchez will make that grab on the move, and Nunez has been quieted so far tonight. He is 0 for 3. Don't miss your last chance to enter NESN's Backyard Ballpark Contest. Upload a short video of your backyard ballpark to NESN.com/ballparks by this Monday, and we will pick a winner. If yours comes out on top, we'll host a private party for your family and friends at your home field. NESN's Backyard Ballpark Contest, presented in part by Lighthouse Construction. Jean-Marc Gomez now loosening in the bullpen, so they have activity out beyond the left field fence in their pen. And Joe Kelly is loosening in the Sox pen. Workman came on, got a double play ball and a strikeout, so he did his job. Brock Holt has struck out 2 times against Giolito. He does have 7 Ks in the book. Right-hander from Santa Monica, California.
He's walking around the mound like he knows this might be his last hitter. He looks tired all of a sudden. He's pitched a great game.
Well, this will be pitch number 111. And past him, Brock Holt's had a tough time with that changeup. He's not alone tonight.
Yeah, as have many of the other hitters, and that's some pretty good deception. It looks like it's coming right down the middle and then dives to the outer half down into the dirt. It's been a great pitch for him all night.
This will be his new high in pitches thrown. 112. Well, you look at how wild he had been for a big chunk of the season, and he walked the leadoff man Mookie Betts. Figured, well, Red Sox have a chance to maybe walk their way to a win tonight. That has not been the case, although Brock Holt will take ball 4 here. And he's a base runner with 1 away.
Tomorrow at 7:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Wake will preview tomorrow's pitching matchup between Nathan Eovaldi and Michael Kopech. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Now, Giolito will get a nice hand, including from his manager, Rick Renteria. They've got to love his performance against the Red Sox tonight.
And he went 3 straight changeups to end his night.
And getting a standing ovation from the White Sox faithful here on the south side. He's got himself a 4-0 lead as he walks away. Sox, who exploded last night with 11 runs in a single inning. Season high in Major League Baseball this year. Different story so far this evening here in Chicago.
That was an unbelievable inning to watch, no question, but I think most of the players would say the same thing. That was yesterday. Today's today. It has been quite a different story. Still with a chance to get something going.
Yeah, Major League Baseball, what a difference a day makes. Got another one tomorrow, another one the next day, another one the next day.
Every day.
And the games are beginning to run out for the regular season after tonight. Just 27 remaining. Blake Swihart, one of the heroes last night, has a bat and a helmet. Sandy Leon's spot is one batter away.
Sandy's really been struggling, so the ability to pinch hit Swihart late in games for him has come up a lot for Alex Cora, and he's taken advantage of it.
Yeah, like last night in that 7th inning.
Swihart ended up with 2 hits.
Kinsler with a base hit and a ground out. And back in safely, Brock Holt. Sox have had precious few base runners tonight. One man out, 4-0 Chicago. Ooh, how about Detroit? Detroit has come from behind, and in the 9th inning they lead the Yankees now 8-7.
It's been a back and forth game all day,
all night. Topsy-turvy.
A lot of lead changes.
Kinsler is a guy in his career who's provided power too. He sucks that one down the line. That's a fair ball. That'll bounce back to Garcia on his way to third. Brock Holt, he'll pull up there. Kinsler with his 2nd hit. Red Sox have him on the corners with one down.
One of the stranger singles you'll see in a ball game. They had him played that way to hit the opposite field, and then the ball bounced right back to the playing field. He was able to get the ball back in very quickly. You would think as soon as he hit this ball, you're thinking double all the way. Brock Holt made it all the way to third base. Watch how quickly this ball hits the wall, and they get it right back in. Good job by Garcia out there to get it back into the infield.
So Don Cooper out. Don Cooper, one of the more highly respected pitching coaches in the game. Doesn't seem to matter who's managing the White Sox. Don Cooper comes back year after year. He's one of the best.
Yeah, he's going to stay here. They've had some managerial changes. Cooper goes nowhere.
He was the pitching coach when they won the World Series and had a great staff. Now Blake Swihart about to step in for Sandy Leon for the 2nd consecutive night. Announced now as the hitter. Red Sox trying to rally in the 7th inning again. Last night was pure magic. We'll see what awaits them tonight. And across for a strike on Blake Swihart, who did get down 2 strikes before tearing into that hit last night. He had 2 hits in that 7th inning last night.
First one right-handed.
Red Sox just trying to get on the scoreboard here.
You mentioned a number of times in that inning, 5 different Red Sox had 2 hits.
A lot of incredible stats came out of that 1 inning at Fenway. Here's the 1-1. And a base hit into right center. Brock Holt will score. Kinsler going into third base. He'll stop there. Blake Swihart coming off the bench does it again, and the Red Sox score their first run.
More good base running by Kinsler. Go on first to third on a ball just hit right up the middle, but breaking ball. Swihart stays right with it. Watch the head discipline. Down with the ball. Bangs it right back up the middle. You got to think that Swihart might be getting a few more opportunities to catch too, with Sandy Leon in a deep slump right now.
Yep, no question. Jackie Bradley now. Jackie is struck out and grounded out. Red Sox looking to climb in this game. Brock Holt with a walk and a run.
We're now in one swing of the bat territory of tying this thing up.
Jackie 11 home runs. 335 down the right field line here. 400 to dead center. And a high twisting fly ball into left center field. On the move is Engel. He's got it tagging up Kinsler, and he's going to romp on in to score. The Red Sox add another run. And they cut it to 4-2. Jackie Bradley will pick up his 53rd RBI. On the sacrifice fly.
Well, Jackie happy to get that run in, cuts the deficit in half now, but anytime you're the hitter in that situation, you're hoping for a little bit more, maybe get a little bigger piece of that ball, and you drive it even further into the outfield. Didn't happen, but still get the run.
Bringing in Kinsler, so the Red Sox with their first 2 runs finally here in the 7th inning. Mookie Betts is walk, rounded out, and stroked a single. So hitting .339. And trying to keep the line moving here in the 7th with Benintendi on deck.
I might give Swihart a chance to steal a base here. It's nice to have Betts up with guys on base. If he hits a home run, it's a 2-run shot. You tie the thing up, but Betts hits a single with Swihart on second. You have an excellent chance of scoring him, and if he does get thrown out, you have Mookie leading off the next inning.
And up and in for a ball on Mookie. Red Sox at the moment with a 7.5 game lead on New York. Red Sox on a pace to win 111 games. And a 1-0. A breaking ball for a strike.
I believe that was my prediction a few weeks ago when everyone said, all right, how many are they going to win? Throw your number out there. I said 111.
A few weeks ago?
A few weeks ago, yeah. I mean, anyone can do it right before they win their 111th.
Here's the 1-1 and a high fly ball into left field deep. Delmonico back. He's at the wall. It is gone. Number 29, and he ties the ball game.
There's that 2-run homer you were looking for right there. Mookie got a ball up in the zone that he could handle. He's a rare right-handed hitter who can hit a ball up in the zone and hit a ball down in the zone equally as well. That's above the belt, and what a beautiful swing he puts on it.
Boy, adding to that MVP resume. And how about the lucky 7th? As the Red Sox continue to pour it on in the 7th inning. Speedway donating $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox homer. And through tomorrow, use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase 3 cooler beverages and receive 1,000 bonus points. The Sox have rallied to score 4 times, and they have tied it. Mookie Betts with number 29, a 2-run shot. And grounded foul by Benintendi, who has gone 0 for 3, couple of Ks and a fly out. What a season. What a season of huge hits. Huge plays, but huge hits.
He's got 70 RBIs as a leadoff guy. Imagine if he was a number 3 hitter.
Swing and a miss. Benintendi's tough night continues, but the Red Sox with another big 7th. They score 4 times. We are dead even. Ball on Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Back in Chicago, brand new ball game, and Blake Swihart takes over behind the plate. Joe Kelly will be the new pitcher, and we are tied up 4-4 as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Red Sox at last on the board. Of course, they did it in the 7th 4 times. And Sanchez going up the middle. He'll knock a single to defeat a Jackie Bradley. And he's had a very good night as the leadoff man. He's gone 3 for 4. So that's how it begins in this inning.
It'll be interesting to see how Alex Cora uses the back half of his bullpen right now. We've seen Joe Kelly have fantastic outings. He's inching his way back towards a 7th, 8th, 9th type of a guy. Who will it be in the 8th if Kelly gets out of this one?
Nicky Delmonico to double, a walk, and a fly out tonight. You got to keep an eye on Sanchez too. High fly ball, that one deep to right field. Mookie Betts is backing up at the wall. He's there to make the catch. That is a noisy out.
Maybe with the cooler air, the ball's not really jumping. I really thought Mookie crushed his and it barely got out, but Mookie kind of had this one all the way lined up. He knew right back there that he was going to catch it. And he thought he got it a little bit. Delmonico did, but it's not going out of here. This generally is a pretty good home run hitter's ballpark. The ball does jump out of here pretty good, but we noticed the difference in temperature tonight.
Temperature down into the 60s. So that'll bring up Garcia, who's already walloped a home run back in the 1st inning.
This is where you may see a few more breaking balls out of Kelly, even though he throws 100. He's really looking for a ground ball double play.
Red Sox have turned a couple of double plays.
That curveball. You get a ground ball out of that pitch if you can hit it.
Joe Kelly last 15 times out has a 1.23 ERA. That was pretty nasty. He may get that again.
It's a spike curveball there. See if he can pick up the grip. Look at the rotation on that, spinning sideways and just leaving you when you go to swing at it.
Sanchez, the runner at first base with one away. And a righty's 0-2. It's the heart of the order now. Garcia, Polka on deck, and then Anderson. One-two on the way, and he missed it with that one. A home run back in the first inning by Garcia.
And that was a ball out over the middle of the plate. It looked like a sinking fastball that didn't sink that much, and he walloped it. He got to wear the home run chain with the old school Sox logo on it.
His 15th home run. 2-2 coming.
Ooh.
3-2.
Lots of breaking balls out of Kelly to Garcia here.
Runner taken off. That's a strikeout. Here's the throw down the tag. Safe. Ooh. Sanchez will pick up the stolen base as Garcia fans.
Boy, the Red Sox catchers can throw a watch. It's not an easy pitch to throw because you got to hold it to get the strike. Comes up firing, and the only thing that went wrong there, maybe Kinsler just missed the tag. Maybe
Red Sox are thinking about challenging. They are going to challenge it. They want this looked at. And if it gets reversed, it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. Right now ruled safe. Yolmer Sanchez.
Remember in last night's ball game, Kinsler put a slap tag down. Did he get him there before he got it? Did he get him on the inside of the calf? Right there, did he get him before he gets to the bag? And if he did, he's out in a long way. Remember in last night's game, Kinsler slid the tag right through, and he got the call on that one. That's a heck of a throw by Swihart.
Lance Barksdale, second base umpire, ruled him safe. But the Red Sox looking to get it overturned.
It's all about whether they think they got him on the inside of his right calf right there. Did he make contact? Because he's clearly out if he did.
Safe is the call, so they're not going to overturn it. You did not have evidence there to suggest that it should be overturned, so that'll bring up Polka, who has gone 1 for 3 with a base hit. So the go-ahead run at second base for Chicago on the stolen base by Sanchez. With 2 down. Fouled away for a strike. Polka had a base hit in the first inning. 1 of 4 hits. They scored 3 runs. Then they took a 4-0 lead with another run in the second. Red Sox had to fight from behind right away and got 4 runs in the 7th inning, highlighted by the Mookie Betts 2-run homer to tie the ball game. And the 0-1. That's in there for a strike.
Lots of weapons for Joe Kelly right now. He can expand the zone. He doesn't have to throw a strike.
It's a final. The Tigers have knocked off the Yankees 8-7. And a wild game in New York. Detroit wins it
from the get-go.
Here's the 0-2. Tim Anderson on deck. We're locked up 4-4.
We talked about it earlier in the game, Dave. This guy does nothing but try to jump the yard every swing. Winds up.
And he makes no apologies for that.
It's like a beer league softball swing almost.
They get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at Fenway at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the first aid station, which is behind section 12 on the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org. Sanchez at second. 2 down, 2 strikes, 1 and 2. Sox in the 8th inning will have due up Martinez, Bogarts, and Nunez. Kelly took a long look in. And a little number foul off third. So no decision for Rick Porcello tonight.
No decision for both starting pitchers. Porcello's pretty happy about it. Giolito, not so much.
Yeah, he pitched in the 7th inning. Although he eventually was charged with a run because he was the man who walked Brock Holt, who scored the first run in that Red Sox comeback, but only the 1 run. The rest on the bullpen. Foul back. 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Joe Kelly's been going many breaking balls early in the count and then powering up late in the count.
Looking for another strikeout right here. The 1-2. Just got a piece of it and chopped it foul. So they will do it again. Polka's been up over 330 times this year. He's only walked 20 times.
Struck out 118.
He is up there to hack. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, a man at second. Red Sox have had more 7th inning magic tonight.
It's getting to be a thing.
Kelly looking to finish him off. And he does on a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 1 man left as we go to the 8th, tied 4-4. Casino through Sunday at the Fox Theater. Catch the world premiere of Cirque Eloise Hotel. Steve Lyons and Dave O'Brien with you here from Chicago. We're tied up 4-4. Red Sox, a big part of the order coming up. Martinez, Bogaerts, Nunez against Ryan Burr, who recently made his major league debut, and his contract called up on the 22nd of the month from AAA Charlotte. JD tonight is 0 for 3. And takes strike one. He has popped up, struck out, fly to right.
Yeah, hasn't done much in this game, but just when you think about forgetting about him, it would be a bad idea.
Is that possible to forget about JD Martinez?
I think they remember who he is, even if he has gone 0 for 3.
Leading the major leagues in total bases. 25 more than any other hitter. The only other Red Sox in the last 100 years with as many total bases in 134 games. Jimmy Fox, Ted Williams, Jim Rice, and Mookie Betts a couple of years ago. And we are not going to get through tonight's game without mentioning that Ted Williams was born 100 years ago today. The great Ted Williams.
One of the greatest hitters of all time.
Many would say the greatest. 1-2. The splendid Splinter. Talk about doing damage. When they wanted to pitch to him.
There was some leverage.
That swing. And that career on and off the field. Poke foul.
You know, if he just would have called himself the greatest hitter who ever lived, it would have been unanimous, but he never would do that for himself.
Last man to hit 400. The 2-2 on the way. High fly to right field. That's deep. Garcia back at the warning track, has room to make the play. JD Martinez 0 for 4. Took that one to the track.
Well, Wednesday, September 12th is Devers Gnome Night at Fenway Park. The first 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a Rafael Devers Gnome presented by Granite City Electric. For more info, go to redsox.com/promo. I gotta have that. I gotta have the gnome.
Well, if it's free, it's for you.
I'll take 3.
Xander Bogaerts is 0 for 3. Reached on an error in the 5th inning. He's also struck out and grounded out. We're in the 8th inning with 1 out, tied up 4-4. The Red Sox have an opportunity to gain another game on the Yankees, who have been beaten by Detroit. So if the Red Sox can win the game, they would go up by 8.5. Nunez on deck.
Still some work to do in this one.
The Sox were down 4-0.
Yeah, but the 7th rolled around.
Yeah, they were waiting on the 7th apparently. Red Sox have scored 15 runs in the last 2 7th innings combined. That one high and tight, knocks the bat out of his hands as he got out of there in a hurry.
We've seen a few balls way up and in lately over the last week or so, up and in on guys. Bogaerts just wasn't sure what to get out of the way first. Don't want to get hit in that hand again.
One out, base is empty. And Burr picks one out. Here comes the 2-1, and again time granted.
I think Bogey's got something in his eye. He's apologized twice now for calling the timeout. Pitchers don't generally like it when you step out of the box, but you got to be able to see.
2-1. Slicer foul out of play, 2-2. Time for our high-strength steel play brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado.
What a great defensive play by Bogey. A short hop backhand and then a pretty strong throw across the diamond to get one of the fastest guys on the field, Tim Anderson, running down the line. Nice stretch by Brock Holt. Just a fantastic backhand play.
It was on review. It was overturned and ruled out, and they got it right. High pop foul out of play. Boy, the reviews have been prevalent in this game.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times tonight.
It's mattered.
Red Sox only have 5 hits. 4 of them came in the 7th inning. And a 2-2 to Xander. That one targeted down the left field line. He smoked it deep into the corner, but it's a foul ball. He spanked it, but foul.
This is some serious top hand tomahawk. Staying on top of a pitch. Watch him stay up on top of this pitch and just buggy whip it out of there. Look at the head discipline too, is awesome on that thing. They're trying to get hard in on Bogey, trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
They're going to set up away the 2-2 and down into the dirt. And to keep it away from him, and a full count. Nunez on deck.
Great take.
Eighth inning in Chicago, tied up. And a payoff pitch. And a pop-up into short right. Moncada out. Coming on Garcia. Moncada will take that for the second out. Red Sox continuing to lead the division. NESN ratings have been so strong, but another factor in our strong ratings is NESN availability. More ways than ever to get NESN. To see a complete list of where to get it, check out getnesson.com.
There are just so many options out there when it comes to picking your TV provider. It can get confusing, Dave.
So 2 down. Nunez has got hitless tonight with a 7-game hit streak on the line. Big swing and a foul ball. Eduardo has grounded out twice and popped up.
Something fell off of somebody's mask there. Knocked the throat protector off the home plate umpire's mask.
Off of Ted Barrett. I would hesitate in saying he's used to getting hit in the face because he's a former boxer. He doesn't look like a guy who got hit a lot to me.
Big guy.
Long reach.
Stick and move.
0-1. Little floater toward right. Down the line. Long run Moncada, and he'll get there. That play in fair territory to make the catch, and the Red Sox will go 1-2-3.
This week on Dining Playbook, one of restaurateur Patrick Lyons' newest spots, Osteria Nina, located in Burlington on 3rd Ave. We're here eating. And then you're doing something pretty cool this week.
New kids on the block. We all know and love them. Joey McIntyre and Paul Wahlberg join me on my boat, and we raise money.
And eating a lot of great food. Let's eat, let's cruise.
For Mass Eye.
That's Dining Playbook Saturday mornings at 9, Sunday nights at 9, right here on NESN.
Oh boy.
Driven by your New England Chevy dealers.
We average over 3,700 daily flights and 99 destinations, but they all go to the same place, somewhere you love. Low fares and no hidden fees to your favorite places. That's transparency. At Southwest, we put people first. From fares to fee policies to our rewards program. And somehow putting you first made us first. I guess that makes us both number one. Low fares, great service. That's transparency.
Team, we have a big milestone coming up. Yeah, we're opening the 100th Bob's Discount Furniture Store this Labor Day weekend. Technically, we'll have 104. Thank you, Robert. Anyways, we're celebrating big time in all of those 104 stores with entertainment and treats for the whole family all Labor Day weekend long and all absolutely free. Plus untouchable values in living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. Wow, 104 Bob's. That's a lot of Bob's.
Bob's Discount Furniture.
CVS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives. You can learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first. So bottom of the 8th inning, growing very late here in Chicago. We're tied up 4-4. Ryan Brazier out of the bullpen with a nifty 129 earned run average. And bigger spots, it feels like every time he enters.
I think it represents a little bit of a changing of the guard, having him come in here in the 8th. High pressure situation, tie ball game.
Toss the 8th inning of last night's win against Miami. And a cut and a miss by Anderson, who's gone 1 for 3 with a base hit.
Nunez could back up a third. Anderson's probably the only guy in the lineup, in either lineup, that might even think about bunting. Now every guy that steps up there in this new launch angle game late in the game, they're all thinking of launching a home run.
Well, this guy has 17 home runs. High chop foul. 2 strikes on him. Moncada on deck, and then Davidson. For a White Sox team playing some good baseball. Won 7 out of their last 10, 11 of their last 15. Just took 2 out of 3 against the Yankees in New York. Yankees have been beaten tonight. They lost to the Tigers 8-7. And the Red Sox take advantage of that.
That was a game that had a lead change nearly every inning.
Trying to put even more distance between themselves and the Yankees. Here's the 0-2. He struck him out. Well, that slider is money for Brazier, isn't it?
Sure is. Back to back. He went back to back. You know, this is a guy that's throwing nearly 100 miles an hour, but he's not a one-pitch pony out there. He comes back there with that pitch. It's nasty to try to hit.
Late start games mean late nights, so why not take the time right now to place your Dunkin' Donuts order using the on-the-go mobile ordering on the Dunkin' mobile app. Place your order now and then just click I'm ready to pick up in the morning. America runs on Dunkin'. Moncada, an aggressive swing. 1 for 2, a base hit and a walk tonight. Brazier, the 3rd man out of the bullpen for Alex Cora. Chicago has out-hit the Red Sox 9-5. But no hit in the game bigger than the one by Mookie Betts. His 2-run homer in the 7th inning to tie the game.
It's been a couple seasons now, but you know Moncada would like to do damage against his former ball club.
One ball, 1 strike. Brazier had a 9-game and 9-inning scoreless streak snapped last night against Miami. Gave up And solo home run to Dean. Popped up, racing back Nunez, and he'll make the play in fair territory right on top of the line for the second out.
Tonight, after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we're going to have full recap of tonight's Sox game. Plus, we're going to have highlights, reaction from the latest Patriots preseason finale against the New York Giants. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people.
Fry and Vieira, the lefty and the righty, working in the bullpen for Chicago. As Matt Davidson gets in. It's then a one bounce. Bogart's off balance, skips it and gets him at first. He's had a standout night defensively at shortstop. They go in order.
Light. But another amazing play by Xander Bogaerts. When he turns and throws, he knows he's going to skip this off the grass. Wow. Perfectly timed right there by Brock Holt. And just, you know, it's too hard of a throw to try to throw it all the way there, so you just skip it on the grass on purpose.
He's made several of them tonight. Ted Barrett, little equipment fix here. Red Sox are tied up 4-4. Here with the Chicago White Sox, and Brock Holt about to lead it off. Scored a key run in the 7th inning after he took a walk. Thiago Vieira coming out of their bullpen. Right-hander from Brazil. And the first one in there, 96. Recently picked up his first major league victory at Detroit out of the bullpen. And sporting a 7.27 ERA at the moment. Kinsler on deck, and then Blake Swihart. We're in the 9th inning of game 1.
Brock Holt's one of the few guys late in a game who will not scrap his normal game plan. He's not going to go up there looking to hit a ball in the seats right now. He's going to try to just get a base hit. That's what he does, and that's what he does every at bat.
Of course, there was that night in Philly
Sure. Not saying he can't do it.
Came off the bench and jacked one out. And he's 6 again for a strike, 2-2.
All he ever tries to do, he looks for the ball away. Loves to go the other way, but all he looks to do is put a good swing on it. Every once in a while, he'll jump the yard with one.
And that's going to be in there for strike 3. He takes it 98 miles an hour. He dotted that for strike 3. Here's our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. How he got to this point. Rick Porcello only on the hill for 5 innings tonight. Mookie Betts 2 for 3 with a home run that tied the ball game. Giolito pitched very well into the 7th inning. He'll have no decision. Bullpen certainly has not been a strong suit of the White Sox, so Red Sox trying to dig in here. Kinsler's had a good night. Again, a multi-hit game for him. He's had a slew of them as of late. 2 singles. He has scored a run. 2 for 3. Swihart on deck. 9th inning. Again, the Sox with only 5 hits tonight. 4 of them came in the 4-run 7th. Kinsler got the first knock tonight for the Red Sox. That was in the 5th inning with 2 out.
Took a while for this offense to get going. Really just the 7th inning. Seems to be that magic inning over the last couple nights, and then it'd be nice to get something going in a different inning here late.
Something off speed there. Slider at 79, but he missed with it. Kinsler's been a good fastball man throughout his career. Here comes the 2-2. Got another breaking ball, but he can't land it. The count 3-2. And the big right-hander Vieira with a 3-2 pitch. And the left center field falling. Here comes Engel. It's going to drop in for a base hit. 3rd knock tonight for Kinsler. He's 3 for 4.
Check out how this team got back into it. Blake Swihart with a base hit that's going to drive in a run. 2nd night in a row where he came off the bench to get a base hit, and then Mookie, come on. High and deep into the night. That tied it up.
His 29th. Blake Swihart part of the uprising again in the 7th inning this evening, as he was last night. With a base hit coming off the bench to hit for Sandy Leon. So he drove in a run.
So hard to sit on the bench for 7 innings. You know your teammates are playing, you aren't. And they say go up there and get yourself a hit. He's done that in back-to-back evenings.
1 out and 1 on. Kinsler, of course, does run well. Now, you did it in your career. Who helped you the most with that philosophy of what to do when you're coming up as a pinch hitter late?
2 guys, Rick Miller and Mike Easler. You know, you have to be aggressive as a pinch hitter. You got to go up there looking for a fastball to hit, and it's a little bit different philosophy because you know you're only getting that 1 at bat, so you can't miss the best pitch you're going to see. As we talked about before, the whole philosophy of these Red Sox now, go up there, hunt strikes, and hit them. It's almost like they're all pinch hitting every time they go.
Kinsler off the bag at first, and that'll drop in there for a strike. Well, Vieira can throw the fastball for a strike. We've seen that, but nothing else.
Seems like he really wants to throw a lot of breaking balls, too. He's throwing upper 90s. Might as well throw it.
Well, we We've mentioned it a couple of times tonight that Smith, the catcher, has only been able to throw out one base stealer all season long, allowing 33 others to steal a base. That one almost got away.
The Red Sox haven't attempted one stolen base all night. Mookie got picked off in the first. I guess that's technically a caught stealing.
1 ball and 1 strike. Jackie Bradley waiting on deck. Jackie drove in a run in the 7th inning with a sacrifice fly. Kinsler had a big hit in that inning. So did Swihart. And of course Mookie Betts with a 2-run shot. Two and two.
Pierre not big on mechanics. He kind of just rears back and throws it. He got some good velo on it. That ball running a little bit away from Blake Swihart.
We've seen him hit 98.
Blake's still probably going to try to pull it in that 2-hole right between first and second.
He's running full. You got Kinsler on with good wheels. There is a hole over there on that right side. Heath Hembry is the man behind the mask. And 3-2 runner does go, and it's knocked foul out of play. They'll do it again. A late night here in Chicago. No resolution yet. We're in the 9th inning, tied up 4-4. With Kinsler on at first, representing the go-ahead run for the Sox. He was running on the last 3-2 pitch.
He's running again. Doesn't want to do the same thing that happened to Mookie Betts, where you get a little over anxious and try to get that great jump.
Vieira comes set.
Pierre knows he's going too. He wants to try to hang on to him as best he can. I'm sure he's seen all the numbers of the throwing problems that they've had behind home plate. Kinsler didn't even bother diving back that time. He had plenty of time.
He takes off 3-2 again, spoiled by Blake Swihart. 96-mile-an-hour Swifty. Red Sox again showing no quit, fighting back from 4-0 down to tie it in the 7th inning. Now here we are, still tied in the 9th, and the 3-2 once again. And he walks him. Kinsler down to second. Red Sox have 2 on and 1 out for Jackie Bradley.
You know, we said it earlier in the game, and I reiterated, and I'm not managing this ball club, but you got to think Blake Swihart makes a start in tomorrow's game. He's had some great at-bats. He's had a couple really good nights. That was an excellent at-bat right there. Good take, and get himself on base again.
Of course, Christian Vasquez getting closer and closer to a return as well. Jackie in this one 0 for 2 with an RBI and a sacrifice fly. Base hit could put the Red Sox in the lead for the first time in the ball game. Right through there for strike 1.
Vasquez was hoping to be activated on Saturday along with Erod. He continues to react well.
Red Sox delighted that Eduardo Rodriguez is ready to return. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Nope, he'll whirl but not throw.
Both base runners have to be leery of a throw behind, especially Swihart at first. Davison could sneak in behind him.
Well, you got good speed on the bases for the Red Sox with Kinsler and Swihart on. Extra base hit could bring them both in.
The way Blake runs. He's getting a huge lead at first.
One out. Here's the 1-1. He missed with that. That man is on deck. Mookie Betts, who has 2 more hits tonight. And a gigantic home run in the 7th inning.
This guy's only throwing 50% of his pitches over the plate.
Fouled back. Good rip by Jackie Bradley.
Everything's been up in the zone. He's got some good velo behind it. That's how he gets away with it, but can only live like that for so long.
Two and two on Jackie Bradley. Got a piece of it. More heat, this time 97.
You know, Vieira is looking into that on-deck circle and seeing Betts there. He hasn't been in the big leagues very long, but you know he knows who Mookie Betts is.
Of that, there is no doubt. 2-2, smacked into right field, a base hit. Kinsler into third. They're going to try and score him. Garcia's throw is cut. The run is in. Play at third, not in time. Red Sox have their first lead of the ball game. 5-4 here in the 9th inning. Jackie Bradley coming through with a base hit to right. And the Sox are on top here in Chicago at last.
Jackie just waiting him out. He goes out there and hooks that pitch away from him. Goes out, hooks it to the right side, gets it up in the air and out over the second baseman's head. And Kinsler with a good jump there. You knew that Carlos Feblis was going to send him. Swihart did a good job of falling into third base.
Jackie Bradley drives in his 2nd run tonight. And all from the 7th inning on. And Mookie Betts the batter. And now Kimbrel begins to throw all by himself in the Red Sox bullpen. Red Sox didn't even have a hit until there were 2 out in the 5th inning. Didn't have a run until the 7th inning. And now have the lead. For the first time this evening, 5-4.
It's often said that these guys, they just put the pedal to the metal. They'll play all 9 innings against you. They're not going to quit. Sometimes you wish they'd play the first 5 and heat it up a little quicker.
Would have been a lot of good at-bats in this 9th inning for the Red Sox. Really between the 7th and the 9th, a ton of them. And of course, Mookie tonight has already launched a home run and a base hit. Only 1 away. JBJ coming through.
The infield's playing halfway. They want the opportunity to possibly turn a double play.
1-1 and a strike. Benintendi on deck. So the Red Sox have come all the way back to take the lead after trailing 4-0 early in the game. And a cut and a miss as he went after the high one. That was 99 miles an hour to strike him out. And there are 2 gone.
Saw one 83 miles an hour the pitch before that, and then just rear back and throw it up in the zone. That's a little too high for Mookie to catch up with. Even Mookie can't get on top of that one.
Benintendi trying to bust out of a mini skid here. He's 0 for 4. He struck out 3 times tonight. 2 away and 2 on. Bradley on at first, Swihart at third. Ian Kinsler also really big in this one with 3 hits. And the last 2 times he had a hit, he came in to score.
Well, outside of the Mookie Betts home run, when you look at the scoring that's been done, it has been done by the back half of the lineup again.
JD Martinez would bat next. Red Sox looking for a bit of a cushion. 0-1. Ground ball to the middle, and a base hit into center field. Another run scores. Swihart is in. Bradley down to third. 6-4 Sox. Benintendi with his 76th RBI. And the Red Sox had that cushion.
Benintendi getting off the schneid a little bit, just trying to put the ball in play. They got the modified shift on. There's a big hole up the middle, and that's where he goes and finds it. More excellent base running first to third as the Sox just keep going and going.
So it'll bring up JD Martinez with a chance to really make it comfortable. The runner at third base and another at first. 0 for 4 tonight. And the Red Sox here these last several nights have gone back to looking like that team that, you know, all of New England fell in love with over the summer. The ability to rally regardless of the score and come back on you.
At least from the 7th inning on.
That's certainly been the case the last couple nights.
I always really like to see what they do in the 5th and 6th innings, because that's when you start getting the second time, sometimes third time through the order. And I think that's where they usually blow things open, but lately it's been the 7th.
2-0 pitch hammered foul.
So many of the Red Sox hitters so smart, they don't need too many looks at you, especially if you're going to show them all the pitches that you have in their first at bat. They're going to figure you out quick.
3 hits in this inning. Red Sox had 3 hits and scored 4 times in the 7th. Deep drive right center field. Backing up Engel, looking up now. She is out of here. JD Martinez with the exclamation. His 39th home run. And the Red Sox explode here in the 9th inning.
He had been quiet all night. He went deep to right field in his last at bat. You know he loves to go to right field. This has not been a great park for him to hit in. It struck out 45 times in this ballpark previous to tonight. And that ball was absolutely hammered. Ah, that's a swing.
How about that sound? The sound of a 3-run home run. His 39th. And 114 RBIs. He's not done with August yet. Mercy. First season with the Red Sox, most home runs. Looking like another record he is going to set when all is said and done. And he waited until late to get his first knock tonight. 3-run shot here in the 9th inning. Red Sox have opened it up 9-4.
He came real close to having a home run in his last at bat too. Drove that ball to deep right and didn't go.
Embry now up by himself. Craig Kimbrell has sat down. And the Red Sox leading by 5 runs. And that'll be ball 4. Xander Bogaerts will take the walk, and that means Nunez will come up to bat and become the 9th Red Sox to hit in the 9th inning. This batting around stuff.
It's starting to
becoming commonplace.
You kind of wonder why this guy is being left out there to die, too. Oh, here they're going to go make a change now, but boy.
Renteria coming out.
About time they got him out of there. He was scuffling a little bit.
Red Sox hammering away. 39 home runs here on the 30th of August and 114 RBIs for J.D. Martinez. And a phenomenal year. Santiago, the next man coming on now for Chicago.
You know, it was odd when I was kind of looking at the numbers earlier today, and I looked at J.D. Martinez in this ballpark. He had not had great success. Of course, you know that he played those years in Detroit. He played here a lot. Like a .245 hitter with 45 strikeouts here and only 2 home runs. That's his 3rd home run he's ever hit here. Just didn't have good luck in this ballpark. Maybe that's starting to change.
All smiles in that dugout. This was pretty tense for a long time tonight. But the Red Sox, such a confident ball club, supremely confident. Doesn't seem to matter what the score is or what point it is in the ball game. Here they come. They were down 4-0. They were being shut out tonight into the 7th inning, and now they lead it 9-4.
Every guy on that team knows that he can contribute to a huge inning, and if not him, the guy right behind him. So they don't try to do too much on their own. They know who they are as a bunch.
On a night where Mookie Betts is homered, Jackie Bradley's come up with a couple of big RBIs. J.D. Martinez with that 3-run shot. Blake Swihart contributing again with an RBI single since coming on the 7th inning. He's been on twice. He has scored a couple of runs. Contributions everywhere. Xander Bogaerts, an outstanding defensive game. On and on and on it goes.
And you just look at the lineup up and down. The guys that are supposed to do what they're supposed to do it. Kinsler gets a base hit. Swihart gets on base with a walk. Bradley gets a base hit to drive in 1. Benny gets a hit, and then Martinez steps to the plate. He's not supposed to get just a hit. He jumps the yard. That was a big one right there by Jackie Bradley, hooking that ball into right field. That drove in a run, moved the runners up. Benny the same thing, just kind of picking away until that man still shows up and hits one into the seats.
2 down. Nunez will pop that one foul back out of play. He's gone 0 for 4 tonight, so trying to keep alive a hitting streak, trying to get it to 8 consecutive games. Hits are now even at 9. 2 Red Sox MVP candidates, both homering tonight and late in the game. So, you know, Red Sox lost 6 out of 8. There are a lot of people who were starting to panic a little bit. But the Red Sox felt like it was a speed bump. It was a natural point in the season after so many games, such a high level of play, where they would hit a little bit of a lull. And right now that's all it feels like it is. Obviously there was concern about David Price getting drilled as brilliantly as he's been pitching. He has returned to the ball club. He flew back here to Chicago today from Boston after some more examinations. Looks like David Price is going to be just fine. A little sore right now, obviously. Alex Cora has not made the determination officially whether or not he'll pitch on Monday in Atlanta, because he's got to swing the bat.
And he doesn't have to. He's got time to let him heal and rest and get treatment.
Bogaerts aboard, 2 down. Here comes the 1-2. Win tonight for the Red Sox would be 3 in a row, and more importantly would push the lead over the Yankees to 8.5 again. Ooh. It bounces up there, almost hits him. It goes all the way to the backstop. That'll advance the runner Xander Bogaerts to second base. And the count fills up on Nunez.
You talked about people that, you know, panicked a little bit, were wondering if this was more than a bump in the road. I think some of the other issues on the team contributed to that a little bit. The simple fact that Porcello has hit a little bit of a bump in the road in his consistency, and Chris Sale's still on the DL, and then Price gets hit. There's your top 3 pitchers. All of a sudden, wait a minute.
Poke foul. The Red Sox have been able to maintain and lately increase their lead over the Yankees without Chris Sale, without the best pitcher in baseball. That speaks volumes. He continues to do a little toss. His ball 4. So Nunez is on for the first time. The Red Sox will send at least 10 men to hit in this inning, which they have scored 5 times and lead at 9-4. And the batter will be Brock Holt. Brock 0 for 3 with a walk and a run in that 7th when the Red Sox came from behind to tie it. Yankees played a crazy game against the Detroit Tigers. That went back and forth. That was a seesaw all night long, and in the end the Tigers pulled it out. And then yet again the Yankees have to sit around and probably watch the Red Sox do this again, come from behind and stun an opponent.
So you know they were looking at the scoreboard earlier on going, all right, Red Sox getting beat 4-0 in the 7th. That's good.
One on the way.
Brock's got to stay locked in here. He's seen a couple pitches in the last at bat that he likes to hit, that he has taken for strikes. One that struck him out last at bat and the first pitch of this at bat.
2-2. The Sox have another guy tomorrow night in Nathan Eovaldi, like Rick Porcello tonight, who has some things he needs to figure out. We'll see if he can get back to the guy who was his first couple of starts with the Red Sox after the trade tomorrow night at 8:10 in game 2. And a bounder on the infield. Moncada will flip on the force play to retire the side, but the Red Sox blow this one up. J.D. Martinez for the 39th time out of the ballpark, and the Red Sox have a healthy lead in Chicago. White Sox looking to take game one. TC and Wake, the boys are getting ready, and plenty of ground to cover in this one, which has been a fascinating game. The Red Sox were being shut out for a big chunk of it.
Yeah, they'll have a lot to talk about now. Early on, they might have been thinking, geez, what are we going to say?
I don't think that's ever a problem for those two. I don't think they sit around wondering, I wonder what we'll talk about. But they have plenty to talk about tonight. Keith Hembree on out of the bullpen. And I think an unsung hero has been the Red Sox pen tonight. Rick Porcello gave up 4 runs in a little more than 5 innings, but Workman, Kelly, Brazier, and now Hembree trying to totally shut them down.
Remember, Craig Kimbrell was up and warming up until the Red Sox threw a 5 spot on him in the 9th. Took this game out of a save situation. Kimbrell sits down. There's Nathan Eovaldi, tomorrow night starter.
It's a big start for him.
I think so too. You and I had his last start, and I thought his stuff was better. His cutter was harder and deeper. He had a good slider. His location was off, and that's what hurt him.
He only went 4 innings and a loss at Tampa Bay. Gave up 8 hits and 6 earned. But we've seen him be absolutely brilliant. You know, against the Yankees on August 4th, for example. That'll drive back Kinsler from the outfield grass, zips it on for the first out as Smith is retired. So there's the matchup tomorrow. Kopech, right-hander, will go for Chicago. Eduardo Rodriguez on Saturday. Brian Johnson to go on Sunday.
They said Kopech in his first start was electric.
So was Eovaldi, his first start for the Red Sox in that victory over the Yankees. For his second start against him, Eduardo Rodriguez with a record of 11-3 going on Saturday.
You forget how good Erod was before he got hurt. 11-3. Stephen Wright sitting next to him, looking for his opportunity to come back.
Yeah, and that's going to be a fascinating decision. Does Stephen Wright go into the bullpen?
Certainly possible.
Engel 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Down through September, you know, there's a possibility that they expand the starting rotation a little bit. He might get a spot start somewhere, see how he looks back on the mound. They're not going to really have to make those decisions until it's playoff time.
2-1. Evens up the count on Engel. Sanchez on deck. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Red Sox again have come storming back, and they lead 9-4 here in the bottom of the 9th. Looking to improve to 51 games over 500 again. It's going to be a long off balance throw. He's going to skip it, but not in time, and Engel is on with a base hit. 1 out single in the 9th.
Seen the Red Sox infielders be very creative today, trying to make plays. That guy made a few of them.
We sure did. He's in one of his better defensive games all year.
He's certainly having his best defensive season, I think.
Top of the order in Sanchez. He's had a really solid night with 3 hits. He's also stolen a base and scored a run. The Red Sox took over sole possession of first place on July 2nd. They have held it ever since. Now try to get that lead back to 8.5 over the Yankees, who lost to the Tigers tonight. They'll have only one more road trip after this one is over. This is a 7-game trip, but still have to go to New York one more time and Cleveland for the only time.
We certainly saw firsthand how good a club Cleveland is. Pretty sure the Yankees aren't going to roll over when you roll into town there either.
Indians just recently put Andrew Miller back on the disabled list.
Is that like the 3rd time this year?
Yeah, he's really had a tough year. They've got a 13-game lead over Minnesota, though. 1-2. Comebacker. Embry taking a look at second, fires in, gets the out there. That's all they get. But that's out number 2. And Sanchez becomes the runner at first base with 2 gone. So the Red Sox 1 out away from collecting the win, which would be their 3rd in a row. Boy, it would also make the Red Sox 45-24 on the road.
When you win as many games as the Red Sox have, boy, they have winning records no matter what you look at.
Everywhere, but you know, to be that on the road, goodness.
That means you're a good ball club, that's for sure.
Runner taken off, but that'll be ball 1.
That's why they call it home field advantage. That's why in the playoffs you'd love to have home field advantage, because it's so tough to go on the road and win. If you're a team that can do that, it gives you a huge advantage.
Delmonico to batter. He has a double tonight, 1 for 3. He scored their first run of the game in the first inning on a 2-run homer by Garcia, and they had a 4-0 lead after the first 2 innings. And at that time it was looking rather bleak, but 2018 Red Sox, no lead is safe against them. It really does feel that way.
And they feel that way.
Yep, to a man, they believe it.
I think they just don't care what the score is. They figure they're going to win. They figure they're going to score more than the other teams. They care less how many you get. We're just going to keep coming.
Red Sox fans around the ballpark. A few hundred remaining here. They are up. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 down. Red Sox with another come from behind effort. Once again, the 7th inning was huge as the Red Sox scored 4 times and got 5 in the top of the 9th inning. JD Martinez, home run number 39. Mookie Betts with number 29.
As you said, the 2 MVP candidates.
1-2. Left it up.
It's hard to believe 2 guys on the same team could be that good and having this kind of a great season. The only other team that could give you kind of a fight would be the Cleveland Indians when you look at Ramirez and Lindor.
Embry's 2-2. He struck him out. That's the ball game. The Red Sox win it. They win it 9-4 to take game number 1 in Chicago. Another come from behind effort. And TC now 8.5 over the New York Yankees.